Hey, what's going on? Welcome everybody to another episode of Heavy Metallurgy. This is number 134, as a matter of fact. Sorry for the slight delay. We got some technical issues behind the scenes, but it's good to see everybody. Hope you're doing great. Hope you had a great holiday, good Thanksgiving, and thank you for everybody for hanging out with us. Hope you are all filled up on the green bean casserole and the turkey. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that was with us today during the Panopticon live stream. The streaming party of the new album. It was a great success. A lot of people showed up. Around 400 of you showed up. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. Glad everybody liked the record so much. But I do want to say that Alan, cheers if you're watching. He is. Hello, Alan. We miss you, brother. And he will be back with us next week. He's out doing family duties for the holiday, of course. So I've got a couple awesome co-hosts to join me today, and we've got you covered, sir. So we're going to get to that right now. I do want to bring out our first guest. Dwayne is having a little trouble logging on, so we're going to give him a minute. But Scott Waters is one of the guys in the VC, one of the first people I ever watched, and inspired me to start doing a channel. I've said this before. Super awesome guy. He runs No Life Till Metal Records and Design. He's an amazing graphic designer. He was also the lead singer for the great thrash band back in the day called Ultimatum. Check out their stuff. And also, he is one of the members of the Metal Roundtable. Let's introduce and bring out Scott Waters. Welcome back, brother. Hope you're doing well.
I am doing well. Thank you.
What has been happening? What's been going on with you?
All I do is work.
That happens. Yes.
Before we came on air, we were kind of talking a little bit about working for yourself, and when you work for yourself, you work a lot more than you do when you're not working for yourself. Uh-oh.
You do.
Did I drop out?
Nope, you're here. Nope, you're good.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's what I pretty much do. I work and got 6 grandkids, and spend a lot of time with them. So that's pretty much what I do.
Yep, that's great. And
Aaron, hi Aaron.
It's super impressive too. I mean, you're super busy. Your label, you've put out some great stuff. You're doing a lot of design work for a lot of other labels out there. If any of you are a band or a label or any other sort of brand, definitely hit Scott up. I got the links in the description to all of his activities. Please go check him out. He will set you right and help you out. A lot of things bands don't consider when it comes to artwork. They try to cut corners or don't know what they're doing. It's good to have somebody that knows how something's going to look at the end of a project, putting their stank on it, if you know what I mean. But so
I also want to, can I just say something real quick too?
Sure.
On the record label front, on if anybody's interested, because it's Black Friday, the label and the label that runs my label, so I'm actually a sub label of another label, has it's having a 50% off sale, everything on the site. So we've got tons of records on there. You're going to be able to get them for $15-$16 if you're interested in vinyl, or CDs are like $8, and tons of stuff on, not just stuff from my label or his label either. There's tons of stuff on there. So give it a shot. rocksrecords.com or nolifetillmetalrecords.com.
Awesome. I didn't put the Rocks. I should have put the Rocks Records link in the description.
It don't matter. Either one will get you to the same place.
So I gotta say, how many years have you been doing this YouTube thing? It's been a couple.
I'm going to say probably 10. I don't never paid attention, but
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was around 10 years. Yeah. Because I was still working for the printing company I used to work for when I started this whole thing. So, and I've been doing my own business now for like 5 years. So yeah, it's been at least 10 years.
That's great. And I like I said, one of the first guys I saw, both the people on here tonight are, you and Lazerrus were two of the guys that got me, I could do this. This looks like fun. And actually seeing people show metal stuff and things that I liked and talking about it with passion and intelligence. They knew what they were talking about. What has changed? But how deep do you get in? I mean, obviously you're with the Metal Roundtable, you're working with those guys a little bit. How has the channel grown for you over the years, and what keeps you still going with it? What do you enjoy most about it?
Well, first of all, I want to say that Lazerrus is one of the reasons that I started doing videos.
Right.
So it was Laz and LJ, basically. I started watching them, then I found Greeno.
I enjoyed LJ too. LJ was fun. Yeah.
So all 3 of those guys were, I I'd watch them constantly and wouldn't miss it. And then I went started getting into their back videos, and my gosh, man, those guys were stacked.
Yeah.
But in any case, last time you were on, someone in the chat said you spent some time in Syracuse, Rochester. Is this true? Yeah, I lived in Rochester, New York for 4 years. Absolutely. It was in 1985 through 1989. Um, I liked the area in the summertime. I hated it the rest of the year because it snowed
Right. Yeah.
every damn day. It wasn't snowing from the sky; it was coming off the Great Lakes. They had lake effect snow there. So,
Yep.
but anyhow, what to answer the question? I don't know. I just enjoy. It's just my passion, so I enjoy doing the videos, and I've got several friends who started doing videos the same time I do, and their channels are way bigger than mine. But their focus was on, I don't know, mainstream. Let me show this Judas Priest album, and I don't know. It just seemed I got tired of watching because they were just doing the same thing over and over again. Yet their channels were growing more than mine.
Yeah.
I don't really care, so I'm just going to continue to do what I do, which is show the music that I love and share what I buy and I still do. What do we still call them? VCLT videos? I don't know. I don't call mine that, but that's what people call them. So I don't know. I just enjoy it, just like you. It's just something fun to do. Whether it be the Metal Roundtable with two other guys, or whether it be just on my own in my music room, which you can see part of it behind me.
Oh yeah.
So.
And the Metal Roundtable, everybody here who may not be familiar, same kind of format as this. It's StreamYard format. 3 guys get together every week. Sometimes they have a guest, sometimes, most of the time not, but they have discussion topics, metal related discussion topics. You get a lot of insight and a lot of view into their preferences and their collections. It's very cool. So how did that come around for you?
That actually was a show out of Texas, and it was just 2 dudes from Texas, Carcass John and Metal Rob. And those 2 guys were doing an actual show in a studio with a producer and everything. And the whole purpose was to get it on like local TV, and then also onto the what do you call it, like Apple Music and that kind of stuff as podcasting. So that's how it started, doing that. It wasn't really meant to be just a YouTube show, but the guys were all in the room together at a round table. That's kind of how it happened. Yep. And the whole purpose of the show was just a bunch of dudes hanging out, chatting metal. Well, Rob Caldwell had to take a break for a long time, so he knew I was doing my channel, and I've been friends with the dude for years. He said, "Hey man, do you mind filling in for me for a few months?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." Well, once I did that, I just never left, and they were like, "No, just stay on. We want you to stay when Rob comes back." So Rob's gone again, so now we have another guy on the channel with us. His name is Steve, who also does videos. His channel is called Harmless Rebel, if anybody cares. Yeah, Harmless Rebel. He's a great guy too, and he does everything from punk to country to metal to, I mean, just and his metal catalogs everything from the 70s hard rock all the way up to the extreme black metal stuff. So
sure.
But yeah, I just enjoy it. That's just like you. It's just kind of a passion, and I can talk about metal forever.
Oh yeah. We've been rambling on for a couple years now, and it doesn't get old. Yep. It's always fun.
I always love arguing with people what metal is and what metal isn't online too. That's a lot of fun. So I mean, right. I'm not young. I'm 56 years old. I'm not ancient either, but I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so and the 70s. I got into music really early. I was literally in grade school, and I started getting into Aerosmith, and that was the heavy stuff back then, and Black Sabbath and Judas Priest and Molly Hatchet and Ted Nugent and that kind of stuff. And so I just find it amusing now that I see all these guys online arguing, Iron Maiden, they're just a hard rock band. Judas Priest, they're just a hard rock band. I'm like, you guys are idiots.
Right. We had
I see people arguing Metallica aren't metal. Metallica, they were never a metal band. They're just a hard rock band. Oh my gosh, you guys.
We had the big discussion.
I Wrestled a Bear Once records.
Yeah, right. We had a discussion, was it last week, regarding what is and what isn't new wave of traditional heavy metal. So that was a very cerebral, deep discussion filled with disagreements, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time with it.
Did you guys come up with a year basis? Because I always say it's like 79 to like 83, 84, somewhere in that area.
We did it a little differently. We each picked like 5 records. And just kind of presented them to each. We each had to listen to all 15 records, and then we just had a discussion about each one. Stuff like Spell and Lucifer, and stuff like that. Witch Hazel. That bands like Witch Hazel, Kellen thinks is new wave of traditional heavy metal. It's Thin Lizzy to me. I'm like, no. I said, if this is heavy metal, you have to. Hey, Logan, thanks so much for that, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you. Said I like Witch Hazel, but I don't even think they would call themselves a metal band. to be honest, because
There it is.
it sounds like Thin Lizzy, 100% to me. But yeah, that was the gist of the whole thing. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. Well, Dwayne's not here yet, and we should probably get started. He will be coming soon, everybody. And he came up with the idea of making it things we're thankful for and slash what's spinning. You know, we're thankful for the music we listen to, of course. And Scott, we'll start out with you and maybe say what you're actually thankful for other than maybe heavy metal music. And we'll just go into your first pick and we'll take turns until Dwayne gets here and we'll continue the party.
Okay. I mean, if I just talk about what I'm thankful for, it's definitely my family. I've got an awesome family. I got 2 kids that are grown-ups now, and they're both married, and I got 6 grandkids. And I mean, I'd give up I love my music collection. I love listening to music, but I'd give it all up if I had to for my family, you know?
Well, you've done it once before.
I've heard
the tale. I've heard the tales. Yes.
Yep, I did back in 1990. I did that, but I just pulled a bunch of records that I've listened to recently. A lot of new stuff, a lot of new releases, because it's getting that time of year where I'm going to have to do that top 30 video. So I'm like, I need to start listening to some of this stuff. But I did just listen to this one all the way through for the first time, which is the new Sadist. Yeah. What do you think of it?
I think it's the best thing they've done since Swallowed in Black.
I love it. I think it's good.
I love it.
I do. It does. His vocals obviously sound like Sadist, but I do think it's missing that. What's the word I'm looking for? That driving bass.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously. I mean.
Yeah, he's one of the best bass players ever, and his absence is noted, but I don't think it derails the record.
No, not at all. But you do, if you're a Sadist fan, you're good. That's one thing you're going to notice, because his bass was always like that. It was always part of the thing you listen to in the music. It was, I don't know. I do like it. I only heard it once though, so I can't really say anything. It's just my first hearing, and I'm like, where's that bass? It's not there. But I thought the songs were great, and yeah. So anyhow, that's the very first one that I just grabbed it. As I pull forward, you're going to see it's a lot of new releases, because that's what I've been listening to recently.
Right on. Well, I want to mirror Scott's thought about what he's thankful for. I too am thankful for a great, healthy family, and the health of my friends. And of course, I'm very thankful for this awesome community we built here. We're having a great time every week. Thanks to all you people in the chat. We really appreciate it. And of course, I am thankful for the fact the new Halloween, they're starting to work on it. That's cool. And I'm going to show for my first one this as well. I know what you're saying, Scott. That was going to be the big question mark for me. I knew Steve wasn't a part of this record. It doesn't even say on the inside who plays bass.
Sorry, Marty.
And Scott's being eaten by dogs right now, everybody. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It doesn't even say who plays bass on here. I haven't gone through the booklet thoroughly, but they thank Steve DiGiorgio. But there's bass. They have it up in the mix. You can hear it, but it's not the same.
Yeah, absolutely. The mix is great, and and whoever did the mastering did a great job too. But it's got a lot of separation. Bottom ends there, the high ends are there, and it's not like all wishy-washy on the high ends. I thought it was great.
Yep, absolutely. And the thing that the Out for Blood, was that the name of the last album? Out for Blood.
That one had a lot of experimentation on it.
There's a handful of songs on there that are a little too groovy for me. They started getting into the chugga stuff, which again, most of the album is really good. This from start to finish is got the classic Sadist vibe. I think they realized where their champion lies, and it's in their early stuff. For me, I like Division of Misery. I liked Elements of Anger. Great stuff. They got a little more proggy in those. This here is a straight up ripping, ferocious thrash. Darren's vocals are scathing right at the forefront. Perfect. I love it. I was really surprised how much I like this. And I had to get a copy. Good stuff. Got all their others. I had to have this as well. So yeah, first off, new Sadist. We're both in agreement on that, of course. Oh, look at this. Who's coming?
There he is.
What's happening?
Oh my God. It is time for a new computer.
There you go.
I clicked on the link to join, and it sat and spun for a few minutes and then froze. I had to do a hard boot to get it back up, and then it just took its sweet time.
Is it a PC?
Yeah.
Hit head on the keyboard 3 times to continue. I said, I gotta go Mac, and you'll never come back. Promise. I promise.
Oh man, I was about ready to throw in the towel there for a minute, and then it decided. Every time I thought I'd just boot it again and start to do something more, and I was like, all right, hold on. So sorry, I'm late.
Aaron says the technical issue was he was waiting for the Metallurgy shirt to come out of the dryer. Yep.
Oh man.
Well, it's good to see you, Dwayne. Thanks for joining us. And how have you been?
Busy. It's a busy day yesterday. Grandkids running all around the house, and typical. They're getting big so fast. It's just amazing. So.
Yep. Well, we're glad to have you with us, and we're gonna put you up next. What are you thankful for? And then show maybe your first thing you've been spinning.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. First, thankful for everybody in the chat. Frosty, what's up, buddy? But let's see. What am I thankful for in relation to well, obviously that the VC is still going, that it's grown so big, and that everyone is so cool and staying in touch and whatnot. I'm thankful that a lot of the bands that I'm still into are still going. That's one thing I was thinking about earlier today was, I swear, especially, your big legacy bands like Priest and Maiden, even back in their heyday, I think if I were to have been asked, hey, do you think in, 2024, back in the 80s, think about this, if you were to be asked, in 2024, do you think Judas Priest will be releasing a new record? And it'd be hell no. I never would have thought they'd still be going.
Man, that song they launched is ripping. It's a really good song. I was really surprised how good it was.
Seriously, who would have thought Rolling Stones would be putting out a new album?
Exactly. Even more so, Scott. Good call. Yeah. So, and
those guys are what, in their 80s? They got to be, right?
Yeah. I think I stopped counting at like 72. After that, it's just all bonus material.
Yeah.
But yeah, thankful, metal's still alive. I'm actually kind of glad that this is the first record store day that I did not venture out at all. I'm thankful that records and vinyl are back, but at the same time, it's I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about it currently. So.
Well, the problem is, I think the vinyl boom, the record industry is trying to price themselves out of the vinyl boom. I think they're trying to swing the market back around to CDs, which still, I still buy CDs. A lot of people do, but it isn't what it once was. And I think digital is quickly becoming. I mean, I used to hate digital, and I find myself now, especially for heavy metallurgy, more and more. I use Spotify and Bandcamp a lot for like research or for doing like a deep dive. Obviously, I don't own every Saxon record, thank God. And that stream nearly killed me because I listened to 25 Saxon records in 1 week. Some were awesome, some weren't so awesome. But if it wasn't for technology, I wouldn't have been able to participate very effectively in that conversation. So I find it's shifting for me. What's that?
I'm not ashamed to say I own them all.
Right on. And there's some good ones. Absolutely good ones.
And there's a few bad ones, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that's true of pretty much any band that's been around for that long.
Yeah. Priest, no exception. Metallica, all of them, all the long ones, the running ones. It's just, it's hard to be. I mean, it's like being in a band, Scott. I mean, any band that's going to be around for a long period of time, you're bound to put out something less than your best. It's just, it's hard to keep going. Either you have to maintain this or keep going up and up and up. And it's impossible. It's impossible.
It's impossible. Yeah.
Everybody's got their skill set. You end up writing in yours. I mean, the second Glorious Dead record. We're looking in a certain way. There's some things we're borrowing from ourselves, which I guess is setting your style in, but it's easy down the road. What do you do? What do you do to keep yourself fresh? Unless you're like Creator and pull an Endorama or something ridiculous that everybody's like, oh God, what happened? But I don't know.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about being an underground band, though. I mean, you don't have to worry too much because it's not like you're making a living off of it. So, I mean, Ultimatum did 20 years, and I never made a dime off of it. So it was any money we made went right back into the band, into doing shows and touring and merchandise and that kind of stuff. So
Yep.
But you did it for 20 years, I mean, that's you can't put a price on those memories in that time, right?
Nope.
No, that's stuff. I mean, your brother, it's a brotherhood.
Yep.
You got your guys in your band, and it's us against the world type of thing. And it's fun to go out and do that stuff. But there comes a time too, where maybe it's too much. I mean, hell, 20 years is a long time, and you guys were slogging it out pretty good with Ultimatum, playing bigger shows and a lot of smaller shows, and you got to take the good with the bad.
Yep, exactly. I just got tired of playing clubs at 2 o'clock in the morning to the other bands that were there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Dwayne, what's your first pick of things you've been spinning?
This has been in rotation over this past week, and even after a week, I'm still digesting it. I love it. It's definitely on cue to be album of the year for me currently, unless something else drops in the next month. But that's going to be the new Heavy Load.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Riders of the Ancient Storm. First album in 40 years. And I got to tell you, because I know, Scott, you're in the business. The packaging they did for this, of course, you gotta grab the CD too. But the packaging on this, what's cool about it is they stuck with their style, even though it's 40 years later. Obviously, it's updated a little bit, but it's that typical Heavy Load. A little more professional, barbaric art this time around, but still in that same style. The back of the album, definitely standard Heavy Load style. That's how the other albums are. It's a beautiful gatefold.
Festival crowds. That was the one place I did love playing.
And it comes with a book, but it's not overly done. This is an 8-pager. There's a lot of packages now are coming with really thick books and whatnot, and all that's great and everything. But this is just a nice balance. What they added in this thing, it's just like a continuation of the gatefold itself. It's just gorgeous. The photography is top notch. Heavy Load. Now,
old bastards doing old bastard things. I love it.
Yeah, totally. It's on a pretty gold vinyl. But okay, let's talk about the record. So, 8 tracks. First track on this thing, "Ride the Night," comes. This could come right off Stronger Than Evil. I mean, it's a straight up standard, reminiscent heavy load days of old. Okay, straight up Heavy Load. Then they kind of take a tour here, and what's interesting is there's like some Zeppelin, some Queen, some Sabbath. Where it's like, are they? I don't know if they're just showing their influences here, or if they're paying homage to this, or if they just wanted to try something different. So you get a little bit of everything in this. The last track, which is actually the vinyl has 7 tracks, the CD has 8. The last track on the CD is Butterfly. It's an acoustic deal. Yeah, Butterfly Whispering, which is a straight acoustic guitar. It's recorded incredibly well. The production is top notch. It still has that Heavy Load early Swedish sound, but it is brought to modern day production. So, it is. It doesn't sound as budget / underground as the early albums did, I guess, but it still sounds like them. Okay, and I always call him Renee, the lead singer. It's actually, I think it's Ragne. It's Ragene, but I think it's pronounced Renee. He has this vibrato in his voice. He's always had this vibrato that makes me think of like a tight wound spring in his voice. And it's like they add some chorus to it, and as soon as you hear it, it's like heavy load. It's just, so 40 years on, dropping this album.
More power to them. Yep.
Awesome record. So any heavy load fans out there, if you haven't picked this up yet, it's definitely worth it.
Made a note because I didn't know it was out.
Oh yeah.
It's funny when I do this, when I do any show, I always keep a pen handy because someone's always going to say something. Oh crap, I need that. So I'm always writing them down.
All right, Mr. Waters, you're back.
Yeah, sticking with the new stuff, staying with the thrash vein, but this is the new Angelus Apatrida. I always stumble over that name. This is do you know these guys? Either one of you? This is their 7th album, I believe, out of Spain. They're on Century Media. It's just great thrash metal band. They've been around for at least a couple decades now. They're pretty much considered part of that new wave of thrash metal movement. That started in their 2000s. But they're still around. They're still kicking out great music. I mean, it's when I say thrash, I'm not talking Metallica, Anthrax style. It's a lot more brutal than that. More in the Creator, Sodom, Slayer kind of mode. Vocals are a mixture of heavy, almost guttural singing, thrash singing, not death metal style, but thrash singing, and then occasionally there is some clean vocals in there, but not a whole lot of them. Although there is a guest appearance on the very last song by Todd Latour, and he does the vocals for the very last song. So from Queensryche and whatnot. Yeah, it's great. It's a great album. If you like thrash metal, grab your pen and write it down. It's worth picking up.
Angelus
Aftermath. Angelus Apatrida, Apatrida, Apatrida. I always stumble over that last name, but yeah, they've got a crap load of albums out. So, but you can get them pretty easy because, like I said, Century Media, so it's pretty much available everywhere. So,
right on.
Again, nice artwork. I mean, it almost looks like a. Excuse me. What's the guy who did the Megadeth covers? I'm trying to remember his name.
Repka.
Yeah, it almost looks like a Repka cover. But it's not, but it's pretty typical. I mean, it's nothing. You're not going to listen to and be like, oh, that's new. Never heard that before. But if you like thrash metal, I'm just addicted to it. So it's good stuff.
Yeah,
they're pretty much keeping the '80s thrash metal alive. That's what they're doing. And great band. They've toured with a lot of bigger names. They've been around for, like I said, 20 years. So worth checking out if you're into thrash.
Awesome. Learn something new every day. Hey, and cheers to the 92 people here. Thanks everybody for coming, spending time with us. We appreciate you. All right, Dwayne, you're back. I have 2 things I forgot to grab. I'm gonna let you talk, and I'll be right back.
Oh, all right. Let me grab. Let's see. How about
By the way, Dwayne, I was singing your praises before we started because I was like, Dwayne was one of the reasons I even started doing the vinyl community stuff. It was you and LJ, and then Greeno after that. So, yep.
Yeah. And
you weren't even there anymore. I was just watching all your back videos.
I'll be darned. Well, yeah, you were one of the reasons I came back. So it comes around, Scott. Thank you, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, I got hooked and power watched, and even I would say revisited and rewatched a few times all of the videos you did with Trog.
Oh,
I love those.
Yeah, I was angry when you were gone for a while there, Dwayne. I'm like, what the hell happened to Lazerrus?
I grabbed this. This was on sale on a website that I actually don't like to shop on because they usually sell you warped material. But this was on sale, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to grab it because I've always,
Can I take a guess at the name of the company?
Sure.
Oldies.com.
You got it.
I got an EXE record from them, new in the shrink. It looked like a cereal bowl, but
yep, they're pretty much known for that.
Yeah.
They lure you in with the wow, I can get that metal record for $2, still sealed. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you just can never play it. But yeah, no, they also do carry new material too, and so I grabbed this Phantom Lord. This is, if you don't know, this is a 4-piece metal band out of New York. This is one of Jack Starr's gigs. So Jack Starr from Virgin Steel.
Yep.
2-album band, killer stuff. This is the first. It's an album, EP/album. It's got, what is it? I want to say, 9 tracks, but they're kind of short. So, it's kind of that in lengthwise, it's that kind of in between, but just killer stuff, Sounds like the cover. That's all you need right there to know what it sounds like. That's it. It's a killer logo. They had a follow-up. This is 85. I think the follow-up was the following year, and then the project disbanded after that. So, but they left us two great records. But they had this on sale. I think it was, I don't know, like $7 or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, brand new. So had to grab it, and I got to track down the second one. So I love Jack Starr, but I'd never heard that and fell in love with that. So highly recommend that. 1985.
Little public service announcement. Anybody with a Warped record, go to Scott Waters' YouTube channel and watch him bake a record in his oven with that stupid contraption that you were trying out. You remember that, Scott?
Yeah, I still have it. It works.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Right on.
I just throw it in the heat bag 4-6 hours, and usually I've got a few. Speaking of Trog, he was out following around, touring with whatever band it was. Huh?
I said, hey, Vance.
Oh, hey, Vance. Anyhow, he bought a Black Sabbath bootleg, really cool bootleg, and he left it in the car and it got warped from the sun. And yeah, so he threw it my way. He goes, if you could fix it, you can have it. Man, you couldn't tell they ever worked. Perfectly flat.
Wow. Well, hey.
But I will say,
when you're throwing that in the oven, I'm like, there's no way this is going to work. Zero way. Yep.
75%. I got about a 75%, rate of actually making it. And the other 25%, they get totally destroyed and you can't play them anymore. But you couldn't play them anymore anyhow, so why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, that video is weird because it's got like 60,000 views on it.
Hey, 100 people. Cheers, everybody. Good to see you tonight. Thanks for coming by. All right, I'm next. I'm along with Scott. I do have a weird mix of stuff tonight, but I'm still in the new stuff as well. Alan, a couple weeks ago, reviewed this album, Exogalactic by Zoth from Seattle. This is an excellent technical death metal record, but it has some power metal flourishes in the guitar work for sure. One thing because technical death metal, everybody likes it. It's a spectacle, right? It's impressive. But for me, it doesn't have a lot of return on investment because I like songs, and tech typically is more of a wee look at me, I'm awesome, which is great. That is an element here, but one thing that Zoth does very well is they construct memorable songs, and with song titles like Reptilian Bloodsport, Sporecraft Zero, Battlesphere. I mean, very cool. There's definitely a concept going on here, a spacey type of thing. These guys are really good. I really enjoy the guitar playing. I like the fact that they're technical yet melodic and memorable. And that's, to me, most important when it comes to this style of music. So yeah, this is a band I'd never heard of. And thanks to Alan, turned me on to it. And now I'm a fan. Good stuff. Zoth from Seattle. It's on Dawnbreed Records. I got it from the band's Bandcamp though. So cheers to that. Good stuff. Scott, you're back.
All right. I'm gonna get out of the metal stuff for just a second. A band I discovered about 2-3 years ago. They've been around since the 80s, and I just keep buying everything they put out.
It looks metal.
And this is their brand new album. It's not. This is
their prog.
Very ethereal prog. No vocals. Matter of fact, none of their albums have vocals. And they've been putting out. They probably have 40 albums out. They've been around since the 80s. Band from the UK. I just can't get enough. It's mood music for sure. Kind of like I love Pink Floyd, but I got to be in the right mood for it. Same thing with this. But if I'm working, this is fantastic background music. Anyhow, this is a brand new album from them. Just came out. Lotus Unfolding, Cosmic Tentacles. I got a laugh out of it because I got the CD of 2, of course. And on the spine of the CD, they spelled the title wrong. And the reason I got a laugh at it is because I've done it a bazillion times. And
Yeah.
I get a call from record company. This is spelled wrong. I'm like, well, that's what the proofreaders are for. And even proofreaders make mistakes, so it just gave me a chuckle because they had a thing spelled wrong. But any regard, this great album, awesome artwork as you can see. According to the liner notes, it's all hand drawn. Man, that's amazing.
Impressive. Yeah,
very impressive. But again, it's not metal. So if you're expecting anything heavy, it's not. The guitar work is spectacular. It kind of reminds me of Frank Zappa, like the shut up and play your guitar kind of stuff. At times with the guitar playing, but there's all kinds of instruments mixed in there, flutes and cellos and everything else. But
back in the early days of the VC, I remember myself, Derek Higgins. There were a few of us. We did a.
Is Derek still doing videos? I used to watch him a lot too.
Yeah. We went down the old Osric Tentacle rabbit hole there for a while, and we always kind of called it. It was like psychedelic prog, is the best way we could describe it. Killer stuff. I mean, killer stuff.
Yeah, it is really hard to just. I mean, I say prog, and the first thing I think of is Genesis, Yes, and King Crimson, and it doesn't sound like any of that. So
yeah.
All right, Laz, you're back.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, I gotta talk about this. So this is a borderline grail in a way because it's a reissue and not an original, but I don't care. I am so happy, and I got to give a shout out to Aaron, the metal theologian, for keeping me up to date on this. But this is the reissue of Varvar, The Beastly Abyss Will Kill You. This is a Russian. Yeah, like
Aaron and his Russian fixation.
Oh my god! But this thing, I will never forget. The first time he played this on the channel and was talking about it, the track he was playing, it just clicked with me like immediately, and I'm like, I have got to find that. And of course, little did I know I was going down a rabbit hole of $300+. Yeah, see, 10-10 title. Aaron knows this album is incredible. It's its own sound. You gotta stream it on. You can stream it on YouTube and discover it. It is killer every track. And this is another one where and if interested, get it, because once this is gone, that's it. But they outdid themselves on the packaging on this. It comes
with Nuclear War now. Is he one to do it?
Yeah, but I just discovered this morning, Hell's Headbangers is carrying it as of this morning also. So it comes with an incredible, something I'm sure the original does not, but huge.
What's up, Dimitar?
Poster of that incredible cover art.
Very cool.
It's on a purple marble vinyl. Comes with, I believe, a book as well. No, just an insert. But polyline sleeve. But $25. And if you want an original, they start at $300. And that's for almost in any condition. So when this came out, it was like $25. I almost wanted to pay him $50 because they were saving me so much money by reissuing the thing. So totally jazzed. And so, Aaron, thank you so much for keeping me up to speed on the drop for this thing. It sounds killer. It's an incredible reissue. It's beautiful. Look at this cover. I mean, come on. Just awesome. Limited to 100 copies on the purple, and then I'm not sure if they're going to continue repressing it after that or not. But in the metal, collectors market, it's kind of a legendary record. So get it while you can. So glad to have that.
Salute to Yusuke for putting it out. He's the stuff he reissues. He does a great job on it. All right. Well, another thing I'm thankful for, very thankful for, is my kid. He's 13 years old. He is a metalhead. I don't know how it happened. That never happens, but it happened. It never happens. The stuff he was listening to pre Metalhead is rough. Anyway, he's been asking me for recommendations. He made himself his own Spotify playlist, and I added a bunch of stuff to it. One thing that he loved and wanted to hear more of was Lost Horizons, Awakening the World. And I got to tell you, every time I get in the vehicle and he wants to listen to this, little tear comes up and drops down my face, and seeing him sing along all the words and headbang to it.
You make me proud, boy.
I'm on the right path. I might be a failure in some ways. We all have our ups and downs as parents, right? But this is an upswing for me. I'm happy about this one. The next one I'm going to show is another one he's loving too, and I turned him on to. But Lost Horizons, Awakening the World. Anybody who watches this channel knows that we go on and on and on about this band and this album. It's one of my favorites from the genre for sure. It's too bad they only put out 2. But yep, Awakening the World. I'm enjoying the crap out of listening to it with my son.
Right on. This one's a little self-serving, but it is one I am truly listening to quite a bit. But this is the brand new Anger is Art. Have all I showed is thrash?
I think Jurgen sent me a couple CDs from them. I have not listened to yet. Where are they from?
They are LA thrash band. They've been around for
maybe not
30 years. They've been around a long time. It's Steve Gaines. Steve Gaines from Bloodlust and Abattoir, and he was in a bunch of LA metal bands back in the day.
I have to look. I don't remember what he sent me. Anyway,
I think this might be their 7th or 8th album. Their last album came out like 2 or 3 years ago, which was called Fast as Fuck. And then this one here is brand new, and this is what's called Virtual Sympathy. And this one is on my label, so that's why I'm saying it's self-serving. So when I show stuff like this and I review stuff like this on my channel, I get comments like, you're just saying that because it's on your label. Nuh-uh. There's lots of stuff on my label that I do artwork for, or on the other labels I work for that I do artwork for, that just because I do the artwork doesn't mean I like the music. But this album is my thrash album of the year right now. I just can't get enough of it. It is so brutal, yet it's got so much hooks.
And Scott, so what if you are self-serving it? What's the problem with that? You're in the business.
I'm glad. I'm going to show something here in a little bit that I'm putting out too, so it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, and but it's just I'm just trying to be honest in the fact that I really do like the music. I'm not just trying to sell the record. You know,
that's why we put it out. I wouldn't put stuff out that I don't like. You know,
well, I have a partner, so I don't not everything we put out is stuff that I like, and then I work for other labels, and they put out lots of stuff that matter of fact.
Now he's going to get himself in trouble.
Today's Record Store Day, and I did all the artwork for I Wrestled a Bear once. That's on Record Store Day. I also did this one, and these were on the shelves at Record Store Day today. I mean that's what it's gore, and I don't know what you call I Wrestled a Bear once. I listened to the album. It's weird mixture of death metal, metalcore, and like electronic elements. And then it's got some girl screaming at you like she's your pissed off girlfriend. So she's throwing you out of the house, that kind of thing. But anyhow, this album is just, absolutely brutally heavy, but it's got the hooks, and the guitar playing is awesome. If you like Evil Dead, remember Evil Dead from LA?
Yeah.
Half of the band is Evil Dead. So, and then Steve Gaines is the guitar player. So you've got guys from Evil Dead and Abattoir basically in this band, but they've been doing this forever. This is Rob, the drummer who's right here. He was in Abattoir he was in Evil Dead since they started, back in the demo days, as well as the guitar player whose name is slipping my mind at the moment. That's him right there though. But anyhow, just a great thrash album. I did do the artwork for the cover and everything else. I did not use any AI. I hate AI with a passion. This is all photography and paintbrushes, and that dude that's supposed to be the kind of douchey looking guy with the cell phone looking down on the little kid that's down there eating crap off the ground. That's actually my son.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I needed a model, and he's a realtor, so he's like, I got it. I know exactly what you want. So he put his earbuds in, put his put his glasses on, grew out his beard a little bit for me, and got me the picture. So yeah, that's him.
Awesome.
Anyhow, it's a fantastic. By the way, now I'm really being self-serving. Like I said, if you want that record, it's literally $15 for vinyl and $7 for the CD, but it's only through Saturday for the Black Friday sale.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, and the code. The code is XMAS Xmas Rocks 2023. That's the code. It'll get you 50% off. 2023. XMAS, just one S. Rocks ROXX 2023.
ROXS. I put it in there wrong then.
No, you did it. You got it right.
Is that right? Okay. And that's on Rocks
No,
Records.
it's actually you did do it wrong. It's Xmas ROXX 2023.
ROXX 2023.
Yeah, Xmas Rocks. It's Rocks Records.
Rocks Records. Go there. That's your code. The one I just re-entered in there. So.
Yep, that's the code if you want to get half price. Anything in the store is half price. So there's tons of crap on there.
Damn
Just
it,
click
I'm
on
gonna have to go check
metal-
that out. I
That-
told
there's
myself
lots
I'd be
of
good, but it's not going to happen probably.
Man, I went online and used the code and bought four brand new sealed albums for $60. So
Wow. Yeah. You can't go wrong with that.
Now they're selling records for $60.
I know.
So,
Especially Century Media. You showed that Century Media record. I'm like, ooh, you got to put a lien on the house just to go shopping in their website anymore.
You know what's dangerous is No Remorse, because I love that site. I love the stuff on there, and I would
Sacred Outcry.
be careful because I put this in the cart, put that in the cart, put this in the cart, put that in the cart, and then I look at this thing and go, oh, never mind.
yeah, and then you see the shipping price from Greece.
Yeah,
I love No Remorse too. I will tell you this, Laz, though, if you follow the No Life to Metal page, the guy who runs the thing for us, he does a lot of trading with them and gets a lot of their stuff in our store.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Because they carry a lot of our stuff over there in that store, and we just, instead of sending money back and forth,
I noticed your stuff over there. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. I will definitely do that.
All right, Laz, what you got?
Marty, I've got a Grail.
Oh, you found something.
I did. Well, a little while ago, but I've never shown it. So, the Heavy Metallurgy channel, and if it's one thing we love here, it's the German metal, and we all know this band, right?
That's a great album.
Okay, we all know this
Classic.
album.
We start doing interviews. I want to get PV on. I think he'd be a good interview.
So, Perfect Man, I've always stated that either Perfect Man or Missing Link are my two favorite Rage records.
Trapped for me.
Yeah, it goes back and forth. But Perfect Man was the first for me. Okay, so, and I was able to acquire the original Noise test pressing of Perfect Man.
How do you get this shit?
So,
how do you get this stuff?
I am just I'm such a sucker for that. I got the timing sheet and everything there. I love my test presses, especially the original stuff like this. So kind of a Grail thing.
Don't Fear the Winners, the song on there. What song?
Absolutely.
The chorus, hooky chorus from wherever. Yeah. It's so good.
So a little bit of Grail material there for the collection, but then of course, I think I told you about these were getting reissued, so they did come in, and so there's Missing Link, and these are fabulous. And I guess this is PV's label we determined, right?
It is, yeah. That Trap record, I love that record. That is so good.
Yeah, so you get a lot of bonus material on these reissues. So if you need them and you only have the CDs or whatnot, I highly recommend picking them up because you do get some cool bonus material on them. So, and again, Missing Link is another one that actually an OG pressing of this, track one down, it's up there because they're just so tough to find.
That's a good record too.
Yeah, I love that record. So, yeah, so I'll leave it with those. But
nice, good haul. All right. I guess I'm back. Another one my kid is way into. He's loves Halloween. It was, I think, the first band that got him into metal, and I turned him on to Gamma Ray. Land of the Free, of course, was the one. And by getting into Gamma Ray, he never liked Walls of Jericho. Obviously, it's a more aggressive album, kind of speed metal-y. Well, after getting into Gamma Ray, all of a sudden he started liking Walls of Jericho. Anyway, I turned him on to No World Order, and he cannot stop listening to this one. What a great record. And I haven't spun it in a while. It's been nice to rekindle the love with this. Dethrone Tyranny. The Heart of the Unicorn. What a great song. This whole album rules, and the production's really good. Man, what an album. And
it's like seeing an old friend again, right?
It is totally like seeing an old friend again. I'm like, God, why did I put you down for so long? But now he's gonna the way he does it, he listens to stuff so much, it's gonna burn me out on it. But right for now, it's in the honeymoon period. I'm digging it. It's good. So absolutely, Dimitar, absolutely. Scott, you're back.
Oh, my turn. I should have been prepared. I was too busy watching you guys.
Oh, you're
all right. This is not a new release. This isn't. Well, it's not an old release either. It's from what? I don't know. Maybe
that's a great record.
Oh my gosh, this thing is amazing.
It's a great record.
I agree.
It's one of those records. I bought it when it first came out, listened to it a few times, and threw it in a pile of new records that I had, and then it just sat in the new pile forever. And then it got shelved. And then recently, I got hired to do a reissue of this, so I pulled it out again and was listening to it while I was working on the reissue, and I'm like, this album's amazing. I forgot how good this thing was. So I've literally listened to this thing like 4 or 5 times over the past couple weeks, just because I've been liking it so much. And I went online and looked for prices for these things. Holy cow, they're expensive now. Like $100, $150, $200 for ridiculous.
Wow.
But anyhow, I wouldn't. If anybody's watching this, don't spend $200 on this record, because I can guarantee you it's coming out again.
Oh
yeah. Anyhow, but it's just, I don't know what you call this. Just prog rock, heavy prog rock, maybe. I don't know.
It's Voivod.
It's thrash.
It's Voivod.
Yeah, it's Voivod.
They've always been anomalous in the. They're easiest to lump into the thrash category, but are they really?
Not, especially not. I don't hear the thrash. It's just prog to me. I was playing this the other day, and my wife came in and she's like, "What is that? That's horrible."
Oh no, you didn't.
But you got to consider my wife. I love my wife to death. I've been with her for decades. But her listening, there you go. Her listening pleasure is pop country. So that's, so we don't agree musically. But anyhow, this is a great record. Great packaging too. I always love when here's one of the things I hate about some of the modern recordings is this has got 3 sides, which is great. I hate when they put 2 songs on every side and it's like 10 minutes per side. It's annoying. They're not singles. They're always like, well, it's 45 RPM for better sound. I don't care. I don't have to get up out of my chair every 10 minutes to turn the record over. But I also
someone just did a video about the 2 LP set with 3 sides, and then they always do an etching on the 4th side.
We've done that.
Yeah, someone was talking about that and how they don't. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, and I mean, visually, I think it's cool looking as hell, but what I've noticed is almost every one I have, the etching disc, they're dished.
Okay, I can talk about that a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So if you can see this one. I can talk about that a little bit. Matter of fact, let me grab something real quick and show it to you. But while I'm talking, I found out from I was dealing with AZ Media out in the Czech Republic. This is not where it's getting pressed, but they do a lot of those.
That's where we do all of our printing from, is through GZ. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but we started working with another company now that also does the etching. And excuse me, they told me that it's a mistake to do this without putting a sticker on here, not a sticker, but a center label. That's what's causing the issue, because what they're doing is this thing's coming. So what's happening is it's coming down on this side and putting it on here, but there's nothing coming on here, so it's pushing it, and it's so the hot wax is getting dished. So what you'll find out is on the reissue of this is coming out eventually. There's going to be a small, because on every record it's got this kind of, I don't know what you call it, but in a dead wax there's this little like 1-inch circle in the middle right there.
Yeah.
There'll be the
45 hole.
It's a vinyl areola.
Yeah. There you go. You can see my ring there. 45. Anyhow, what they're going to do is they're going to put a 1-inch label on there, either black, or they may use the color of the record on there. So it'll be etched, but it'll also have a small sting on there. And they said that will keep it from warping, because so then when it compresses, the 2 sides will be flat. So that's why you see a lot of the etchings that are dished.
So it's not just me. I was going to say almost all of my, I mean, it's not bad. They're playable and everything.
They're playable still, yeah.
Kind of annoying, because it's like, you almost need to have to use a turntable weight on them, to run them flat. But
Yeah.
they're cool looking.
Oh, here you go. Test pressing.
Yay.
And on this test pressing, you'll see if I can get it open. Oh my gosh,
That's why I like to bring people on here smarter than me, Aaron.
So here's the test pressing of that same album.
Yeah.
See how it's got but this it won't be this big giant test pressing label when it comes out. It'll just be a small one. But they said they always have to put a label on it when they do the test pressings because they don't want to send warped pressings to everybody. So
yeah.
But anyhow, you can see it actually looks pretty cool in there.
So A to Z is the middleman. What plant was that run through?
A to Z is the plant in Czech Republic that was done at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But like I said, that's not what they're using anymore. So
yeah.
But anyhow, I thought that was I never knew that. I mean, I've been buying records for decades, and I got lots of ones that are etched, and I never realized that until I started working on this particular album. They were like, "We recommend this." Most people say no, but if you want to avoid dishing, they just said then put a sticker on there. So I did. I gave them two to choose from. I gave them a little orange one and a little black one. So whichever one they decide to put on there, I think that's.
Yeah, I remember the first time I bought an extra record, it was through Amazon, and it came in and it had that dishing to it. So I sent it back. I'm like, you sent me a warped record, So they sent me another one, a replacement, same thing. And I'm like, what the hell? So I sent it back again. On the third time it came in, the same thing. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And then I noticed going forward, every single extra record I would buy, and it's not bad, but it's noticeable is the thing. You know what I mean? Yep. And so I knew
that too, and I never knew why.
I never noticed it. I've got one of those record weights that you put on the record, and so I always just automatically put a record on and put that on. And if there's a dish, it's gone. I mean, it's heavy enough where it's usually not an issue. Like I said, we've released a couple of records that had from GZ, and it's never noticed, never had any complaints. Now it's something I guess I'll have to pay attention to. Never paid attention.
GZ Media is in Czech Republic, right?
Yeah. Yep. Dishing. Who said that? Wade C. It's like a slight warp. It's just a little concave.
Instead of being like a wavy warp, which is how most warps are. It's like dish to
But like I said, it doesn't typically affect playback. So
you can put some chips in it and serve some salsa.
Yeah, exactly.
And go with it.
All right, Dwayne.
Let's see here. Well, I think I will, so this is what's spinning, not necessarily new pickups. It is the Heavy Metallurgy channel, so I'm going to ride the sky with Marty for a little bit here, and I was spinning this the other day.
God, album rules
because it is my favorite Darius album, and I've got, I don't know, 7.
There really isn't a bad Darius record. I don't care what anybody says. I'll fight them. I'll fight them on that.
This is the one, though. Yeah, I've got 7, 8 versions on CD, of this album. But every once in a while, I just have to pull the vinyl, and the big track on this album that stands out. I Can is my favorite, but Push is such a standalone track on this record. It was such a different song for this band to do.
Revelation for me. That song has got like the speed metal feel to it. It's really heavy and really good song. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
There's something about the heaviness of Push. I remember when I first heard this record, I was like, it was almost kind of like hearing Painkiller for the first time.
What's up, Simon?
As a Priest fan, you know what I mean? Painkiller was so much heavier than anything they had done before at that point. And that was kind of the impression I got with this. Now, given on this, though, it's only that track. But it's become one of those tracks that I just absolutely love as well. When there's a explosion that happens when it busts into the guitar solo, that's just still gives me chills to this day. But anyway, it's still sitting out because I was playing it on vinyl the other day, and so there you go.
That's a good one.
Love
good
that
one.
album.
I suppose I could show my Halloween listen now that we've already talked about it. And this isn't their best record by any means, but
No, but it ain't their worst either.
it isn't their worst. Nope. And half of this record I really like. Jacob over at the Upside Down Church sent this to me. Thanks again, Jacob. It's a reissue, pink and black splatter splatter vinyl. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like most of it. Kids of the Century, Back on the Streets, The Chance, great songs. Couple Heavy Metal Hamsters is stupid, but it's still a good song.
Still catchy.
Yeah, this was a sign of what's to come, I guess. The album after this was kind of a smoking hot turd, but anyway, I like it. It was cool. Thank you again for Jake for sending it to me. I'll probably end up getting them all on vinyl. I shouldn't.
They were just trying something new. That's all it was to it.
Yep.
But then again, a lot of bands were trying something new at that time because heavy metal was a dirty word. Remember?
Yep.
Heavy metal was dead. All the magazines were telling us the heavy metal was dead.
Simon and Eric tuned in at the wrong time. Sorry.
Then again, they also said heavy metal was dead in 1978 and 79. I've got tons of magazines that said metal was dead. So I keep saying it, but it never happens.
Never happens.
Have you noticed that the older we get, our metal is now becoming hard rock?
Dad rock. Woo!
We just had that discussion before we got on air. It's like I'm literally arguing with people online on Facebook and whatnot that Iron Maiden is just a melodic rock band, and that is an exact quote. Judas Priest were always just a classic rock band. Saxon were never a heavy metal band. I keep arguing with these people. How could there have been a new wave of heavy metal if there wasn't a first wave of heavy metal?
Yeah.
But now they're even denying that the new wave of heavy metal was heavy metal. So go figure. It's called history revisionism, and it drives me nuts.
Yep.
Yeah. Agreed.
Even if you show them a bunch of proof, I've got here's a crap load of books about the history of metal. Here's a crap load of periodicals, and here's 10 people I know that grew up in that time, and they all say the same thing. I don't care. To my ears, it's not metal. Oh, okay, I got it.
That's why Rob Halford didn't name himself the hard rock god. He named himself the metal god. Yeah,
it's silly. Am I up again?
You are up, sir.
All right, I'm gonna go away from the metal again. Speaking of the 70s, this is 60s. This just came out, but this is the brand new. I'm gonna show 2 records because they're related.
Yeah.
This just came out like last week. Hollywood Bowl, 1967. Previously unreleased. I don't even think this was out on bootleg anywhere. I've never seen this one before.
I've never seen that.
According to the liner notes, the family found this tape that they had no idea what it was, and they got it baked and all kinds of crap, and come to find out it was a show that was recorded and never released. So there it is.
I love that. We need more of that. People start digging. I wish these artists would start digging in their attics and basements and start finding tapes.
Absolutely. The one thing that's cool on here is he does Catfish Blues live, which is one I've never heard him do Catfish Blues live before. But he does Sgt. Pepper's, Killing Floor, Wind Cries Mary, Foxy Lady, Fire, Like a Rolling Stone, Purple Haze, and Wild Things. So, yeah, it's definitely warts and all recording. There's a few dropouts in the vocals where it's either he wasn't singing or the mic cut out, one of the two. But it's still I'm just a Hendrix fanatic, so I really enjoyed it. But also I've been spinning this one recently too, which is Hendrix in the West. So. Which is just a classic album from this thing probably came out back in the mid 70s after he had passed away. But I don't know. I'm just a Hendrix fanatic, and I have been since I was a kid. So one more thing real quick though. You said Grail, and I'm like, oh, Grail. I just got one in the mail. This is the
original Rock-a-Rolla. Nice.
Yeah, I've never even held one in my hands before. So showed it to a buddy of mine who's a priest fanatic, and he's like, how many hundreds of dollars did you spend on that? Not even close, man.
It's probably maybe $45-$50.
That's what I see him going for on the few times I've seen him, but they're always missing the sleeve. That's the thing they're always missing. No, it was like
the sleeves after all those years don't survive. People back in those days didn't take care of that shit. They threw it in one of those green like shoebox looking things.
I mean, that looks great. Like it wasn't even circulating.
Yeah, this was almost perfect. I picked it up from a store in the UK online for $25.
Of course,
I told my wife I paid $25 for a 7-inch. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Awesome.
anyhow, I'm done. Sorry, I can
No,
rant
you're
forever.
good. That's good. All right, sir.
Well, that's funny. I'm going to pick up where Scott left off then here because, I am not the biggest 7-inch guy. Even on my favorite bands, I don't track them down, but I pick them up when I come across them, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I have 2 Priest singles here that actually are fresh to the collection that we're getting ready for a Priest video. But this is that Hammer magazine exclusive of Firepower.
Yep.
It came in the magazine, I guess, so I grabbed that. And then this one's actually kind of cool. I have the picture disc of this, and I think another version, but this is the import.
Nice.
Got another thing coming, and this is actually still sealed in the original import shrink wrap.
Mm.
And so, yeah, it's never even been opened. And I love it's got the Record Factory price tag still on it for $3.59.
Nice. That's awesome. There's a picture sleeve version of that same black and white cover too, that came out around the same time.
Yeah, that I've got the picture disc of it. And then I'll show this real quick. I did a Priest update video not too long ago, and I showed a absolutely mint copy of a white label promo of Hellbent for Leather. And would you believe I came into possession of another one, almost in the identical shape, absolutely gorgeous. And this one, though, has the press kit with it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, with the photo in the Columbia press kit. So I was jazzed on that. And then one that's been on the list for the Priest collection for a long time. And the big thing about this one is every copy I've ever seen of this, the jacket is I don't want to say thrashed, but they're pretty rough. And this is a UK pressing of Killing Machine in red vinyl, an original one. And again, this one here, it's the cleanest one I've ever seen, which is why I pulled the trigger on it. Look at that sleeve. It's just gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Does it have the picture sleeve inside of it?
This is the CBS. No, it's not a picture sleeve. It's the UK, paper sleeve.
I had that record forever, and I never even knew it had a picture sleeve in the original release until many years later. It took me forever to track one down.
Yeah, the little hype sticker on there, which is interesting. It even says special limited edition red vinyl. This sticker can be removed. So
I wouldn't remove it.
I've always seen these, and the sleeves are what are always jacked up on these, on the red vinyl editions for some reason. So when I saw this one, I had to jump on it. So
is that a UK pressing?
It's a UK pressing. It's the only one where they did it on red vinyl. Is the UK Killing Machine. It was a limited edition. They only did it there. So it's just kind of one of those Grail pieces, kind of a Grail piece from the Priest collection I've been after, and finally found the one worthy of it. So it was jazzed.
I'm the same way. I'm always looking for Priest stuff. Always.
All right. Out in the shop the other day, I decided I was going to have a tape day. So I grabbed a handful of tapes. I haven't spun in ages, and this is the first one I put on. This is Fighting for the Earth by Warrior. You know what? This album,
Jesus Christ.
The first song on this album rules, and I really wish the rest of the album lived up to the first song. There you go. Are you listening to this too?
All week long.
Yep. Crazy. But I do like this album and this band, but man, I wish it was, like I said, the first song is great.
Like 4 albums.
Yeah, this is the only one I've ever heard. And I don't know if it's the last one or the second to last song on here is really good too. But I don't know. This is a solid listen. I wouldn't pay a lot for it, but the first song is great. I really like the first song. You can find
those pretty cheap anywhere, vinyl, CD, and cassette. But I would recommend checking out the album they did with Rob Rock. That thing is superb. Rob Rock on vocals, that is. Not Bob Rock. Rob Rock.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Such a good album.
Again. Damn, man, we're going fast.
Well, I got a bunch here. I don't know what you got about you guys, but I got a bunch.
I got a bunch too, but I'm watching you guys, so I'm not like paying attention to what I'm doing at all.
You're good.
So this is not a new album release. This is just an old one that I just pulled out and spun. Just a classic. I don't know. People call it grindcore. I don't know. It just sounds like death metal to me, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know which my favorite Napalm Death, but this is probably pretty dang close. I've seen these guys live several times. They're just a ball of fun.
They are.
And they're nice guys too, man. They always come out afterwards and just hang out with the people and, in the crowds. But of course they are playing small venues, but still, just a classic. You guys like this band?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. I do not like the production on that record. It's funny. Here's a bomb to drop, but on December 1st, we're going to be having Scott Burns on the channel with David Gelke. David Gelke just wrote a book on Scott Burns. The two of them are coming on the channel. We're going to talk about it, and looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time, good conversation. And
by the way, sorry.
I never loved the sound of the production of that for some. It's really kind of murky to me. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, it is a little murky, but Laz, you were saying you don't collect. This is my recent pickups of 7-inch.
Scott, you are so all in on. I mean, I sit and watch your 45. And I'm just like, wow, he's in deep.
Always digging.
Yeah,
always digging. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Okay, Laz.
Got in the last of the reissues for this band I needed, and that is Too Hot by Ostrogoth. Killer record. Actually, probably might be my favorite by them, actually. Completely different cover than their other stuff, but such a damn good album. The last track on both sides, in fact, Halloween on the second side and Love in the Streets on the first side are just killer. But High Roller, knocking it out of the park with every issue they do. You get the package deal here with this, so that all the good stuff is inside. But man, killer reissue. I'm so glad they did that with this band. I've got the box sets now, the CD, the whole thing. I love this band, and this was the last piece I needed. So this has been in rotation throughout this past couple weeks too. So if you're not familiar with this record, check it out on YouTube, and I guarantee you'll be picking it up because it's classic.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, you look at that album cover. I mean, for us, we're like, oh, interesting, but that album doesn't scream by me from the record rack, to me anyway.
No, it looks like an 80s pop album.
It does. It looks like, all the color scheme. It looks like a Miami Vice color scheme.
I was going to say, yeah, it's a very Miami Vicey kind of feel to it. Who else has covers kind of like this is, or this reminds me of, is Sinner, Matt Sinner's band.
Yes.
Right.
A lot of
it. lot of pastel colors like that. You got like a 55 Chevy, taxi cab here with a chick walking a lizard. What's metal about that outside of maybe the lizard, but
the lizard wearing an Argyle sweater.
Look at the guys on the back.
Oh boy.
Yeah, buddy.
Loverboy headband infected the metal.
For all we know, it could have been the label that forced them to, we want a more sellable cover. We don't want something so dark. I've seen it before.
Yeah. And the first couple albums, I love those covers with the black cat and the scorpion, and those albums, killer covers, and then that thing you're like, what? But man, what a record.
All right. Okay, I'm up. I'm still on the tape thing. This is such a ripping album. I got this on vinyl too, but this had to be up for tape day. Destined for Extinction for Blessed Death, the second album by these guys. One of the sickest thrash vocalists ever, especially on this album. What the hell's the name of the song? Pray for Death. Oh God, vocals are just off the charts, screaming at the top of his lungs. So good. Super catchy, aggressive thrash metal, a little bit of a speed metal leaning in here once in a while. Really, I've always dug this band. Not a lot of people talk about them, which is a bummer because they were great. What was the name of the first
band?
Yeah, what was the name of the first album with the hands on it?
Give me 5 seconds and I'll tell you.
I got it up here too. Let me see. Kill or Be Killed.
Yeah. There you go.
It's good, but this is a huge step up from it as well. And apparently they put out a full length in 2006, which I did not know, called Hour of Pain.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Didn't know that. Interesting. So they got back together and did a one-off. But yep, Blessed Death, Destined for Extinction. Great thrash record from Jersey.
Break out the pen again.
Yep. Yeah, the name
My
of the
hometown.
album that they put out was Hour of Pain. Released independently, so good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Waters, I'm going to go use a little boys' room while you talk about your next pick.
Oh. For some reason I was thinking Lazerrus was up next, but I'm definitely not paying attention. Another new release.
I still have to get that.
Yep. Dark Parade by Sirith Ungol, or however you pronounce it. I've always pronounced it Sirith Ungol, but I got schooled by somebody else on my own channel, but whatever. I'm just going to pronounce it how I pronounce it.
Yeah.
Sirith Ungol. This is one of those, you have too many records and you're a crazy nutcase collector, because I thought I had purchased the box set version of it, pre-ordered it, and then everybody was getting their pre-orders, and I went and I looked, and I'm like, oh man, I went into the site that I bought it from, and it was still sitting in the cart. I never finished it. Oh man. So I went onto Amazon. I'm like, I'll just buy a regular old black version, which is what this is. And then last week in the mail, the box version came in the mail. So apparently, even though it was still sitting in my cart, I did purchase it. They just got them shipped out late. So the difference is this one's got 2 albums. So it's got the entire album on one album. The second album is all the demos from the same album. It also has a poster and a big old fat book like that one you were showing earlier. And I think it's got 2 posters and a lyric sheet and photos. It's got all kinds of crap inside of it. It even came with one of these things, which I'll never use for anything. But one of those, record bags.
Nice.
So anyhow, but musically,
was that recorded with what's his name from Night Demon on bass on that?
Let me check. I can't remember.
On the new one, I'm sure it is. He's kind of responsible for getting the band back together. He's part of the band.
Going to be recorded on the album, or just joining them live, or?
Well, let me look and find out, because I can't remember myself.
Anybody that has an opportunity to see them, go see them, because apparently this is their last tour they're going to do. I think they're going to continue making records, but they're done touring. Yep, there he is.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a good. I mean, if you like this band, that kind of epic, classic '80s heavy metal style that they did, it's up right up there. I think it's actually better than the last album they did, which I liked that one too, but I grew. I don't say tired of it, but it just became, it just got on my shelf really quick. It didn't stay out very long. Whereas this one here, I've spun it quite a few times. So it's just great classic metal with them. He's got such a unique voice.
Yeah.
So anyhow, Sirith Ungol, Dark Parade, brand new album. This one will definitely make my top 20 for the year. I've spun it that many times. So as I did the next one, you're going to see next time it comes around to me.
Hey, Hattori, Chris Maycock or Chris Black is writing that Battery book with one of the guys from the magazine Iston. I have not talked to Chris in a while, but as soon as the book drops, we're going to have him on. I know he's busy right now with High Spirits. High Spirits just put out a new record, and that's what he's doing right now. So I don't know what even I'll get a hold of him, find out what the status is, see where they're at. It'll be great to have him back for sure.
Speaking of record covers that don't look metal, High Spirits.
Yeah, totally.
I like their music, but man, their covers don't look anything like what you hear.
It's an interesting aesthetic. It works. I mean, I think it's cool, but it's one of those things you're flipping through records. It doesn't necessarily jump out and say, "Buy me a metal,"
Yeah,
that's another one that's very Miami Vice.
Yeah,
their album covers.
Yep.
You got the one with the plane, the one the night, the city night one. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, they're very Miami Vice style.
Yep.
Kind of covers too. But yeah, I love the band. Love them.
All right, sir, you're back.
So speaking of Sirith Ungol or Kirith Ungol, and being corrected, same thing with this band, which is Jagpanzer or Jagpanzer.
Whichever way you don't think it is, Alan pronounces it that way. He says Jagpanzer and Kirith Ungol, which now he's got me doing it, and it's just from hearing him do it all the time.
Yeah, but this is Tyrants, another high roller reissue here, but killer record, probably my third favorite Jagdpanzer record. I've always liked this cover art. It reminds me so much of the first Accept record on steroids. It's like we got to one up Accept. So
even has the lady hanging the chainsaw. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But killer record. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 12 tracks on here. 12 tracks of metal goodness. Battle Zones twice. The Oracle. Iron Shadows, probably my favorite track. But killer record. This was actually another one that I was able to fetch on sale on Oldies. So glad to have it. So yeah.
All right, back into the cassette descent. Man, I return to this album all the time. I think this is a fantastic overlooked thrash classic. Believer, Extraction from Mortality.
Wow. Dude, check it out.
Nice. Oh, they're different though.
Yeah, this is a brand new reissue that's just coming out. It's got like a purple cassette.
Oh wow. Okay.
But
yeah, this
anyhow,
is the
funny,
This is the Rex Records original.
Yeah, it's an original. I was going to show this one later on, so that's funny you showed that one. Right on.
Yep. I love this record, and Obscenity Obscure, and what's the other one? Dimensions.
Yep, that's it.
I have those too. I like those a lot. They start to get a little more technical. This here just is in my sweet spot. I've always liked this. I know, Scott, you've told me that the stuff when they're reformed is really good too. I haven't got around to it yet, but Extraction from Mortality, I think it's been reissued on vinyl, hasn't it?
It's coming out. It's just went on pre-sale, vinyl, CD, and cassette this past week. This past week.
I have an OG copy of it up in the rack on vinyl, but it was a radio station promo. So,
and it's missing a song.
Hold on, let me go grab it. Now we're talking about it. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Yeah, there's I'm actually looking right now, but I'm pretty sure that there's a Believer. I know the label that because I did the artwork for it. The label that's putting it out told me that those things were selling. It was like their biggest seller of the year. They're selling out so quickly.
So I swear I saw the notification for it recently for the reissue.
Yeah, it was like a week, maybe last weekend.
Yeah.
It was the first 3 albums coming out on vinyl, CD, and the first album's getting a cassette reissue, which is what this is right here. So nice. What's the last song on side B?
Extraction from Mortality.
Yeah, it's missing the last song, missing Stress.
Yep. And unfortunately, it's got writing. Look at someone was bored at the radio station, wrote WNMC all over the whole damn thing.
Yeah, but that's awesome.
You know what though? That is your copy, brother.
That's right. That's exactly what I was going to say.
And I bought this from the record station. I had a friend that had a show there. I would go every once in a while and do like a metal takeover. I'd bring a bunch of stuff. He'd play it. And the channel was WNMC was a very cool record channel, college channel. Only a small radius of people could listen to it. They had a guy named Keith. He sounded like he was stoned all the time. He had a really killer. I heard Merciful Fate on there. He played all this cool metal stuff. Well, the channel, he left and Lee Metcalf took over, and she made it a Christian metal show, which is, there are a lot of cool stuff there too, but she wouldn't play anything that wasn't, it was kind of a bummer. So we're like calling and putting in order. Oh, we don't have that here anymore. Well, years and years later, after the whole metal thing died on there, I'd hang out at night and sit in on the show with my friend. I started digging through their I found a section this big of metal records. I bought them from the program director all for $1. And there was some Christian stuff and some secular stuff, but this was a score. I could probably hit this with Gugon.
Nah,
I'm just worried about fucking it up, but it plays fine.
I'd leave it.
It plays fine, but what a classic record. It's a great
history,
record,
man. That's what's great about it. It's got a history.
Yep.
And
I bought
nobody
this
else
tape.
has a copy like yours.
Nope. I bought this tape from the Rainbow Bookstore back in the day. I would go in there, Christian bookstore, just to buy their metal tapes. So I probably should have been doing some reading too, but I didn't go that route. So metal tapes, yes. Other stuff, nah. It's all good. But, all right, Scott.
Here's the Believer test pressing for that album's
awesome. How's it sound?
The mastering is freaking awesome. It sounds so much better because I have the original record too, and I beat them, and played them back and forth. Oh my gosh, the thing sounds amazing, guys. It's always kind of been high end screechy, the original, but they were able to bring out the bottom end and get some separation between the instruments, and even the band was amazed by how good it sounded. So anyhow,
the reissue, do they have the song that they taken off? Is it all
yes,
there? Okay.
It's the whole album. Yeah.
Why did they take it off in the first place? I wonder.
If you buy the European pressing from the 80s, that one has all the songs. I have no idea why the US pressing, they took that song off. I've never been ever get an answer from that. So I have no idea. Unless I just have no idea. I mean, just guessing. But anyhow, since you said Jeg Panzer, I pulled this one forward because this is their new album that came out.
Mhm.
They went. Did you guys see the what's the word I'm looking for? The marketing campaign they did for this album?
All I saw was Alan's review on this channel for it. And I pulled the samples from it. It sounds good.
Yeah. But what they did in old school, they were sending out stuff in the mail, and you were getting like,
really?
Matter of fact, you're getting Jag Panzer postcards and other kind of cool stuff like that with this. I might have one inside. I'll open and check. But to me, this is their best album they've done since Age of Mastery. I love Age of Mastery. So,
I love that album.
Yeah, Age of Mastery is just freaking awesome. I'm glad that thing finally came out on vinyl. Let's see if that thing is in here or not. One of them is there, but they sent like 4 of these things. I mean, old school. It's gonna have my address on it, but anyhow, it opens up, and there's the glasses, and it's
holy crap! Wow.
Yeah, they
That's
sent
cool.
out tons of these things before the album came out, and I was like, that's freaking awesome. So I had to buy the record.
Yeah.
Nice, they had colored vinyl. I don't really care about color vinyl since blue, but nice gatefold. So it's really nice pack. I don't know what it is with all the new reissues, all the new bands, and this is always the gatefold. A picture of the band. It was huge. I don't know. I'm not really into that. It's just a bunch of old guys, which I love. These old guys. They're great, players, but I'd rather have some liner notes.
Doesn't mean you want to look at them.
Yeah,
listen
or
to
some
them
liner
fine.
notes and lyrics, or maybe even some live photos. I'd rather see live photos. But
there's no lyrics in there. There's like nothing on the inside.
Yeah, I think there might be a lyric sheet subbed in here somewhere.
Right on. They could have done that. Saved some money and done it in the gatefold. Anyway,
that's the way. There is. There's a black and white lyric sheet in there.
Yeah, give me a photo on a band on the inner sleeve, and give me some more art in the inside of the gatefold.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I am too. But
to let my imagination dive into while I listen to the music.
This is literally the 3rd album I've shown just today that the cover inside spread was a big picture of the band. That Voivod album is the same way. Not the one I'm putting out. The one that's coming out. Oh, that's sad. But the one I worked on. No, it's got way more stuff on the inside than just a big giant picture of the band.
Aaron brings up, about being tired of gatefolds, and seems like a waste of paper. It does seem like that almost anymore. If an album is not a gatefold, it's almost kind of rarer than a gatefold now. I mean, I remember back especially in the 70s, a gatefold was like a special. I remember those were like really cool records because they were, so big, and you rarely saw a gatefold that was not a double record, but now it seems like almost everything is a gatefold.
Yeah, and I can tell you exactly why. It's because the cost of printing a gatefold sleeve is cheaper than printing a single fold sleeve and an insert or a record sleeve on the inside.
Really?
Because if you put the record sleeve on the inside, you're paying to have that printed and folded, and then you're also paying for the jacket to be printed and folded. It's just more expensive.
Yep.
Huh. It's not a lot. It's not a huge difference, but that's the deal.
I'll be darned. I never would have thought that.
Any little bell and whistle you want in the vinyl world, it adds up. It all adds up, which as I'm about to show everybody later on.
Yeah, vinyl's expensive, unfortunately. To make is what I'm talking about.
Let's see here. This is one that I grabbed when I ordered the Varvar. And I had never seen or heard this, but I love this band. This is a German band, Metal Inquisitor. And this is the Garage Nights bootleg.
That's a good band. I like that band.
Killer band.
Yeah.
But I saw this. I'm like, I'd never seen this. And I'm like, is that a real bootleg, or is this one of those, we're going to call it a bootleg and it's not a bootleg? And that's what it is. It's not bootleg that's called a bootleg, but they had this as well, and I needed something to top off the cart, and so I'm like, yeah, I like that band. I'm going to grab that, and so killer stuff. 12 tracks on here, and this was, let's see, I don't see a year, but this is early. Recorded in 2004, 2003, 2000. It's almost like one of those, I don't know, like demo type situations, but it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like it's, a full-blown pro recording. So, but good stuff, man. Great band. It's one of those bands that I don't think about till I see them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
all right. I am up next, I suppose. Let's get through these tapes. 2 more to show. Judas Iscariot, The Dying Light. This is a bootleg tape somebody made. They did a really good job on it. Andy Harris, Akhenaten, whatever, Chicago native, U.S. black metal in the Dark Throne vein. I haven't listened to this band in ages. Threw this on. Good nostalgia. Good raw black metal. Well done. Sloppy drums before you got Dwayne Timlin in the band. Sloppy drums, but the riffs make up for it. Solid. Good stuff. Haven't spun them in a while. It was cool to put them on the deck again. Not much to say other than solid U.S. black metal. Scott?
This is the one I was going to show before I pulled the Jag Panzer forward, but again, I'm still on the new releases here, but I'm raving a bit on a
roll lately.
Yeah.
It's a cool cover art too.
The last 3 albums have. Hey, you guys have seen Trog on my channel, right?
Oh yeah.
Doesn't that look like Trog? Right in the middle there.
Oh my God, totally does. Is he holding out and not telling us something?
Right. I sent it to him. I sent a picture of the close-up of him when I first got the record, and I snapshot and sent. He goes, "What? What are you trying to show me?" I'm like, "Dude, it's you." Anyhow, it's Raven. Just, I think part of the thing is they got a drummer that can handle the fast stuff. So they're back to playing that manic, fast. I don't know, proto thrash, whatever you want to call it. Raven aren't a thrash band by any stretch of the imagination, but they're fast.
Mm-hmm.
But they also had hooky songs, and John Gallagher is one of the most underrated bass players in the world. The guy is just incredible. And he also can sing. The guy, I don't know if you hear some of the old Paul Di'Anno albums back from the day, back when he was in Killer and stuff like that. If you listen closely in the background, it's John Gallagher's doing the background vocals on all those albums and doing some of the bass work as well. So anyhow, I love this album. It definitely will be in my top 10 of the year. I play this thing to death. So, but I'm also a Raven fanatic and have been for decades. Seen them live like 8 times.
They only had 1 little minute where they sidestepped and put out some so-so stuff. I mean, there were some good songs, but Stay Hard and The Pack Is Back, not great.
It's because they got on a big label, and the big label forced them into a direction that they said they were going to push them in, and they became a kind of a joke, like Twisted Sister did too. They went from being a big scary metal band to being a cartoon of themselves, and they hated it.
Yep.
And if I've talked to John about it. He's still pissed to this day. He's like, yeah, they forced us to do that crap. We didn't want to do it. We did it because we had to. We signed a contract. He goes, and then they didn't do anything they promised. They didn't promote the album. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. So
I saw videos on Much Music and MTV a lot. I mean, the On and On song and what the hell else was the other one? They did a couple that were on.
Yeah, they had a couple songs.
Yeah. Much Music more than MTV. Much Music Power Hour was great. They used to show a lot of cool stuff. But
but anyhow, but that's why they did the Mad EP, because it was like, what were they mad about? They were mad about the stupid label forcing in a direction they want to go. So they put out an album that was in their old style called Mad.
I love that cover too.
Yeah. Just that guy makes some of the best guitar faces, man.
Yeah. All right. Laz.
Let's see here. I went down a kick this last couple weeks. I went down the old Sabbath Tony Martin roll. And revisiting and favorite here, obviously, Headless Cross.
That's a good record.
Love this freaking record, man. And what this happens, you pull pull one and you're like, man, now I need to hear, and then now I need to hear, that kind of thing. And so Headless Cross Purposes, another fabulous record.
Yeah.
This is a total fine wine record. I mean, it just gets better with age. And then this one, you know what? This album gets the shit, but it has really grown on me. And that is Forbidden. And yeah, I know it's got, Ice-T on it or whatever, but it's not like he's like
some Alice in Chains influence on it too, if I remember right.
Yeah, but man, this is I'm really, really getting into this record now. I have to say. So if it's been a while, and there's a lot of people out there that I think kind of get influenced by the negative hype, revisit it, give it another chance. I'm gonna champion this record for a little bit and just give it another chance. So, but yeah, on that Tony Martin kick.
All right.
So,
last tape. When my band opened for Panopticon this year in Kentucky, Mike May from Abominant was at the show. I've known him for many, many years. What label is this? Oh God, I can't. There's no way I'm going to read that. So yeah, some label put out their first 3 albums: Never Truly Dead from '94, Unspeakable Horrors from '96, and In Darkness Embrace from '97 in a box set.
That's cool looking.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. This is one of those bands that were always super solid, really in the pocket, old school death metal. They just never got their due. It's just really well written, old school. These are all pro tapes, really nicely well done, little O-ring jacket sleeve thing, very cool. And it's been a while since I've spun their music, and I finally got around to it, and yeah, these guys were great. They were great, just often overlooked. They put out a bunch of records, and it's cool that the early stuff got a reissue. They're all really solid. I would imagine this is probably affordable. If you look online, I'm sure it's still available. So check it out. If you're like old school US death metal, maybe it's not the most perfect produced, but it's in that old school vein, meaning it isn't the polluted, dark, reverb heavy incantation sound. It's more song and riff oriented. Good shit. Always liked them. And it was cool thanks Mike for giving that to me. And, it was good to be refamiliarized.
Look at Metal Theologian's post. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's been doing that. Yeah. All right, Scott.
This was really obscure, I guess. This is Medieval Death. This is a late '80s band from Greece. They played with everybody in the world back in the day when they were coming through Greece. They never got their due. They never even got to put anything officially out other than tapes like you were just showing, kind of demo tapes. But Iporano Records in Greece put this thing out, and they did a spectacular job. I mean, the packaging on this. So first of all, it's a 5-song EP. That's all they had studio wise. So that's everything they put out basically studio wise. Musically, it's kind of in the vein of Manila Road or Sirathungal, that kind of epic, classic heavy metal sound with fantastic vocals. But this thing comes with, it's got the polyline sleeves, black polyline sleeves. It comes with a sheet with lyrics and upside down. And then it's got this nice, huge write-up on the band. It's like,
wow.
Yeah.
That's got my interest there.
There's more write-up than there are songs from that band.
Well, there's also it's just that's all they recorded back then. But there's also, it comes with a DVD which has a crap load of songs on it, as you can see. And it's all, there's a bunch of live stuff on your videos and stuff like that. So this is well worth picking up if you're into that classic '80s epic heavy metal style. I was gonna say the power metal. To me, it's more in the vein of like Manila Road or Sirathungal, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the cover, if it was red, would look like the Medieval Steel record, which is that same vein. So that's interesting. Yeah.
And I have a connection to this one because they hired me to do the layout for it. So, but that logo, it took me forever. I had to recreate it because he wanted it identical to the original. But it
They should have done an emboss on that, emboss that cover.
Oh my gosh, this thing cost him so much money. He couldn't afford to do anything else, and I get it because he only did like 200 copies of it. And there's just no money in it, 200 copies, especially with all the additions he put in there and a DVD and everything.
Yeah. The more bells and whistles, the more the bill goes up for sure.
Yep. But anyhow, it's a fantastic. And the sound quality, you might think, oh, it's crappy 80s demos. It actually is very well done, very well recorded, and whoever did the mastering out in Greece did a great job as well. So, Medieval Death from Greece.
All right, Dwayne.
Starting to get low on the
McIrish, I would say Return of the Vampire. If you're a Merciful Fate fan, it's a worthy acquisition. It's got a lot of the old demo stuff on there. It's cool.
If you're a Fate fan, yeah, you should have it.
You should have it. It's fun. I think Metal Blade reissued it. It's probably still available on their website.
Yeah. All right. Going to ride the sky again a little bit here with Gamma Ray, Land of the Free 2. Love this album so much. And so any Gamma Ray fans, if you don't put this higher up on your list, you need to go re-listen to this record because this album is freaking fabulous. It is an excellent successor to Land of the Free.
It's good. I wouldn't say it's that good, but it's good. It's good.
It is. You need to go listen to it again, Marty. I'm telling you.
I like it. It's
love
good.
This record, especially when you listen to because I love like To the Metal.
That's a good record. To the Metal, I like better than that one actually.
Oh no, this is a better record. But yeah, it's I'm beginning to wonder. And I know we haven't brought it up yet, which I'm really surprised, but new Halloween record coming, right?
They're done with the tour. They're going to focus on the songwriting.
Yeah. Yep. So prayers there, but it's really making me wonder, revisiting Gamma Ray, is Kai really done with Gamma Ray? We still don't have a final answer on this yet. And I'm really hoping not. Because I love both bands equally, and I don't want to see Gamma Ray stop even for the new Halloween.
I don't know how I feel about that. Before the whole reunion thing happened, I was happy where Gamma Ray was. I was happy where Unisonic was. I was happy where Halloween was. I was happy with all three bands. Like, it's just going to screw everything up. Well, you know what? The reunited Halloween was so good. I ended up not giving a crap about. I'm happy with the output of everybody else. If I think you start spreading members thin, you're going to start getting. It's like when King Diamond was in King Diamond and Merciful Fate at the same time. You end up with two entities that are putting out okay, but not great records. You know what I mean? Anyway,
it's the Unisonic thing, and I love Unisonic, but I'm fine with Unisonic being done and being. It is what it is. There's enough there that it's just its own little thing, and I like it the way it is, and that's fine. But Gamma Ray versus, I don't want to say versus because I hate that word, but for this topic I will. But Gamma Ray versus Halloween, they are different enough. I love, Kai's voice. And with Halloween, you're only going to get that from time to time, where with Gamma Ray, you're going to get it all the time. Well, unless he does finally hang up the mic for Gamma Ray, which it looks like he was getting ready to do anyway.
Well, he brought a new guy in, Ralph. I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was just for that live thing they were doing, or if that was
he toured with it. He played shows with them, and I think he was going to be on the new record, but I don't know for sure on that 100%.
But that's what I mean. So we don't really know yet, but I'm hoping Gamma Ray still continues because that band is different enough, yet it's still part of the family. I don't know. I love both bands equally, so it's tough. But anyway, Land of the Free 2, I'm telling you. I'm on this record.
All right, it's good. I don't deny it's good. All right. Well, this fell into my possession somehow. I don't remember exactly how, but Destruction 3 LP box set. You've got All Hell Breaks Loose, The Antichrist, and Day of Reckoning. I have multiple copies of both All Hell Breaks Loose and The Antichrist, but I kept this because it had The Reckoning on it, which I had not heard. So, you know what? I was really impressed with the Return of Destruction. I thought they did a really good job. It sounded like old Destruction in a lot of ways with more of a modern sheen to it. As they went on, I paid attention. I've got albums here and there. I don't have the whole run, but I had the Antichrist on vinyl, and this stuff is good. It's good. And now that Mike's not in the band anymore, the latest one that everybody was ranting and raving about, it's a solid record, but I don't like it as much. I don't know. This is solid. All this stuff is solid. I have enjoyed listening to these. Is this stuff ever going to dethrone the original incarnation of the band? No. The classics? No. But it's good, solid, modern day thrash. And it's just impressive that the band is still, even though there's one original member, it's
still
good
doing
that
their thing, though.
they're still doing their thing. And they're writing good stuff. Do I love it? I don't love it, but is it good? Yeah, it's good. But yeah, cool box set. Comes with the booklet.
Yeah, man, they're keeping the music alive. I mean, regardless of what you think of the newer material, they're keeping even the old music
Absolutely.
alive. They're playing shows, keeping that stuff alive. More power to them, man.
Yep. All right.
Oh, I'm up
Scott,
again.
You're up again.
This is a reissue that on vinyl. Finally, I love this band. This is Lazerrus AD, The Onslaught. This is just a beast of a thrash record. You guys heard this one?
I have not.
I've not heard it, but I've seen it around recently. A lot of people are posting about it.
Freaking awesome. I mean, it's just, if this album had come out, in 1984, 83, back in the heyday of thrash, these guys would have, been at least as big as like Overkill and Testament, if not up there with the big four guys, because it's just great. But it doesn't sound like any of the big four. It's a little more, I don't know. It's just a little heavier than, all those guys were back in the day, Testament and all the Exodus. Actually, it probably falls in line closer to what Exodus were doing than any of the other bands. But yeah, this is great stuff. They only put out 2 albums. And then I believe am I mixing up this band with another band? I've got 2 bands that stuck in my head. One of the 2 bands that are stuck in my head, the drummer passed away and they stopped releasing records. And I think it was these guys. But if you guys don't know who they are, then you probably wouldn't know. But anyhow, yeah, this thing just came out on vinyl. It was mixed.
Bolt Thrower did that. Kitty died, and they said they'd never put out. They quit. Bolt Thrower broke up.
Yeah,
that's went on these guys infinite hiatus,
and they were riding high, man. They were touring with all these huge bands and playing giant festivals over in Europe. But anyhow, it just, unfortunately, stuff happens, right? So the original album came out back and. I can't remember, before Metal Blade picked it up, they had an independent version of this. Then James Murphy came in and remixed the whole album, and they put it out on Metal Blade. And then recently, Brutal Planet Records remastered it and put it out on vinyl for the first time. And this thing is amazing. I have it on both CD. I have the original CD, the reissue CD, and now the vinyl because I just like it that much. It's just good old school thrash metal. But
nice.
I am a thrash. That's probably my. I don't know. I say it's my favorite, but ask me tomorrow and I'd probably tell you something else. So,
right.
I do listen to a lot of thrash metal, but I also listen to power metal and a lot of 70s rock. But it just depends on the day of the week, I guess.
Yeah.
But I've been in a thrash mood for the last few weeks, so I've been listening to a lot of it. If anybody's interested, these reissues are on Amazon and they're not too expensive.
Nice. All right, last.
All right. Well, hard to keep my head out of Germany. So Nuclear Blast decided to reissue these kind of unannounced, which I thought was interesting because it's one of their flagship bands on the label. And I thought, wow, that's kind of odd. and two albums that I'm trying to figure out why they reissued. One, I don't understand why they reissued it because I think it's a little too soon. But the other one I totally get. But Blind Guardian, Beyond the Red Mirror, they decided to reissue this one on a different, it's a transparent green vinyl or what have you. So, of course, this is Guardian, so it's, it's automatically sold to me before it's even pressed. So, two LP set, gatefold goes right along with the rest of the Blind Guardian issues. So that I just thought that's kind of why would they reissue Beyond the Red Mirror so early? Kind of interesting. But then they also did At the Edge of Time.
That is an album that's overlooked, but that's a really good record.
It's
That's
a really good record, and I have the original, and I understand why they reissued it because the original one's it's like borderline box set. It's like I think 3 or 4 LPs in there. It's a really thick guy, and it was never released as just a standard LP like this here. So this is a great opportunity for fans that missed out on that original issue, which was a limited thing. Vinyl wasn't where it is now, so it was kind of it's to get an original one's kind of pricey now. So this is a great opportunity to get this on vinyl. But it was just interesting because they didn't really promote this. In fact, even as a Guardian fan myself, I kind of stumbled onto it, and I was like, "Whoa, wow, they're reissuing those." And then they're also dropping A Twist in the Myth as a reissue in February. It's coming also. And that one I get too because an original of that I have, and that was 2006, I think, something like that. So that one's definitely due for a reissue, so that's good. Why they didn't do all 3 at the same time, I don't know. But great opportunity. So if you don't know and you're missing these and you're a Guardian fan, great opportunity to grab them. At Nuke Blast.
They apparently are slotted to play Milwaukee Metal Fest in 2024, along with Camelot. I'm surprised.
Really?
A little bit. Yep.
Wonder who's singing for Camelot.
Oh, that guy that does stuff with his hands all the time. I don't know. Like David Copperfield of metal. Anyway, man, I don't know why the hell this ended up on my stereo this week, but it was sent to me in a Zoller box, which anybody here that knows me and S. Craig Zoller are buds, and he sends me a bunch of records over the years that he ends up not keeping. Winnie Winston Invasion, the first album. Man, this is ridiculous.
I love that album. It's so over the top ridiculous.
There's a couple good songs on here, but the guitar playing, it's like he was kept down in Kiss. And when he came out, he just like come out of Kiss, he went nuts. And this is, I don't know. It's absurd. It's just, I laughed the whole time listening to this thing. I had it on tape back in the day when it came out. So it was a bit of a nostalgia revisit, but God.
The back. I love the painted pants on Bobby Rock in there.
There you go. Look at that hair.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God, that hair is impressive.
And could you get a guy who's more out of place than Robert Fleischman?
What's up with this hair too? Come on.
Oh, Danish Drum. That guy's a beast, though, man. That guy can play.
You know what I would put up against that? Nitro.
I was just going to mention that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it was fun. I'm going to keep this probably, but it's ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous album. It's more of a laugh than, I don't know. I don't know what I think. I'm conflicted. It's from my youth a little bit, but the solos on it are so stupid. Wow.
A couple of those tracks are actually written for Kiss and weren't used in Kiss, obviously.
I can see why. They're too, I mean, and anybody that doesn't know, the other band went on to be in what the hell's the name of the band? Slaughter. Yeah. So there's that. There's an element of that in era. I mean, it's kind of a glam era for sure, but the solos are crazy.
Just super fast.
Super fast, and every note all the time. It's amazing.
All right, I'm jumping away from the metal again. New Robin Trower just came out a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Joyful Sky. This is his best album in decades. This thing is freaking awesome. But if you're it's not hard rock. It is definitely blues rock, which I've always considered Robin Trower to be kind of a blues rock artist anyhow. And the vocalist on here is just it's a female singer. Her name is Sarah. I don't know much about her, but I've told she's got a lot of albums out herself called Sarah Shore. See the name on there? She's the vocalist. She's got this gritty, bluesy voice. This thing is fantastic. Actually, on the Metal Roundtable, Carcass John, who is a huge death metal fan, that's like his main thing, death and black metal, that kind of stuff. He's the one who recommended. He's like, "No, dude, you got to pick up new Robin Trower. It's one of the best albums of the year." And I agree. This thing is just superb. I mean, if you're into that, if you're into that Jimi Hendrix style of blues, female vocals, you'll probably dig it. It's really well done. And it's not a real expensive record. I picked it up on Amazon for, I don't know, maybe $24.99, something like that.
I've recently been getting into the blues side of Gary Moore, actually.
Oh, yeah. I love Gary Moore.
Yeah, I mean, all of his rock/metal material, but the blues side I always kind of didn't have much interest in. But recently I've been kind of getting into it.
You're up again, Marty.
I am? No, I think it's Dwayne. I just did Winnie Vincent.
Already?
Winnie Vincent.
Winnie Vincent.
Winnie Vincent. I thought I'd give this band a try. I've seen them around, streamed a few things from them, kind of liked it. And again, this was one I grabbed on sale on the oldies, and Canadian metal band Skullfist. Yeah, this is pretty tantalizing stuff right here. So a lot of Priest influence here, but killer stuff on Atomic Fire, which I think everything I have on this label, I don't think there's been a band yet that I haven't liked. So
do you know what Atomic Fire is? It is basically the original owner of Nuclear Blast. He sold he sold Nuclear Blast to some other people, and he left and started Atomic Fire, which is Nuclear Blast, Atomic Fire. And he took some bands with him, like Halloween, Primal Fear, I think, some of the bigger bands from Nuclear Blast he ended up taking with him to be on Atomic Fire. So it's basically Marcus from Nuclear Blast's new label.
Well, that makes sense then. Okay. Right on.
I like Skullfist a lot. Yeah, they're a great band. I know you said they have a Judas Priest influence, but in no way they're a Judas Priest clone.
Oh no, absolutely not. But you can tell where their influence comes from. But yeah, when it comes to the Canadians, I was kind of hooked on Cauldron for a while, and then they kind of started to drift a little bit, and then kind of went quiet. I don't know what's happened with that band. But these guys, everything I've seen so far, I watched a couple of videos on YouTube from them as well, and just I've yet to not be impressed. So I'm going to be watching these guys for sure. I think there's a future with this band. So, but yeah, this is Paid in Full. Good album. Good album.
Have you checked out the band Spell yet?
Oh, I don't like them. I had to listen to them in that New Wave of Traditional Heavy Metal video we did, and that album made me mad. I don't know why, but it didn't sit with me well.
They kind of have that same. They kind of remind me a little bit of Skullfist, but
really
into that Canadian sound. I also would check out Iron Kingdom. Those guys are fantastic.
I love Iron Kingdom. Yeah.
They have a new album out. Did you get it? It's freaking hard to get.
I don't have the new one. Yeah, same reason. Yeah, it's tough to get. I've got everything before it, but yeah.
I got a good friend who I'll plug his channel since we're on here. He's got a channel called Blackmore Rules, and he lives in Canada. And he went to see him live, and he picked it up for me, so I was really happy about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's singing on the new one?
I don't know. I thought I had it sitting right here. I was looking for it, but I don't see it here. It must be over by my turntable. I can't tell you because I don't remember.
It was the brother and sister for a while, and then she.
Oh wait, it is right here.
She came back.
This is the new Iron Kingdom, and the singer is.
Throw it up again, Scott. I'm sorry, I didn't get to you quick enough.
Oh, that's okay.
Slow on the draw. Right on.
That's the cover. So the singer is. Yeah, I'm old.
I wonder if she came back or if she's still gone.
Chris. Name is Chris. I can't read the last name because
that's somebody different. Okay.
Yeah, but this album is really, really well done. It's that new wave of traditional heavy metal style though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyhow,
Well, I can get to it quick enough. The Blood Creation lineup, vocals, Chris Osterman.
Mhm.
that sounds right. Yep.
Oh,
I
that's a
hate that
dude.
itty
Oh
bitty
no, maybe
little.
that's not a dude. I don't know. Can't tell.
I hate that little 4-point type, man. I'm too old. I can't read that 4-point type anymore. Anyhow,
All
whose turn
right.
is it?
I think it's mine.
Go.
I went. Well, I've never been ashamed of liking Rat, and I never really owned this record until this year. This
That's a
album,
good
this CD
record,
right
man.
here. The
That's a
first
good
half of it I really like. It's the last of the Rad record. I mean, I even like the stuff that come after this. I'm not gonna lie. I just like Rat. I like Stephen Pearcy's voice. But you know, this is still the dream team, so to speak, with Warren DeMartini and Robin Crosby. Oh, what you got?
I just
Nice.
picked up a Rat 7-inch.
Yep.
Here, let me show you this one too, real quick, so I can get your channel banned. There you go.
That's not gonna get us banned. We're good. We've done way worse. We're good. But no, I love Rat, and this is again another nostalgia band for me. I really my favorites are Invasion of Your Privacy and Dancing Undercover. I love those records. This here, you know, way cool junior, the bluesy thing. It never sat great with me. Hearing it again on this, it fits within the context of the songs of the track listing. I don't mind it. I like this band. I always will. I'm only missing one record from these guys. I don't even know who the hell's on its original other than Stephen Pearcy at that point. But I enjoy this. Reach for the Sky. It's been fun to revisit it. Good stuff.
I like
You know what, man? The opening riff to You're in Love on Invasion of Your Privacy to this day is still one of the greatest just old hard rock riffs just ever written. There's just something about the riff, man.
Yeah, they were losing some magic for sure, but still it's good. It's good. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I dig him. Warren DeMartini's riff writing is very good. I think he's way better than George Lynch.
Have you visited some of the later stuff, Marty?
Yeah, I've got Detonator and I've got the green. That's the only one I don't have is that one.
You can get that one super cheap. I've seen it online for $2.
Really?
Yeah,
on CD.
Don't overlook the later stuff. It's actually pretty.
And the green Infestation is the greenish covered one. That one's really good too. I like that one as well.
Yeah.
But
that's because they stuck to their guns. They stuck to their musical guns. They didn't try to become, they didn't go from Stay Hungry, excuse me, what's the name of the album? The first Under the Blade to Stay Hungry. I mean, Under the Blades is fast, heavy metal album. Then you get Stay Hungry, and it's this kind of kiddie rock stuff. So
yeah. Yep. All right, Scott, you're back.
Oh. Primal. This is their brand new album. This is their second album. This band is half from Argentina and half from the United States. This band features members of a bunch of different bands. You know the name immediately. The drummer was in Hyrax for a decade. The guitar player was in Hyrax for a decade or more. Name is Glenn Rogers. He was also in Steel Vengeance, and he was in Heretic. So he's been around. And then the singer is from Argentina. He was in the band back in the 80s called V8, if anybody remembers them. And then later on, he was in the band Logos. So all these guys have been around for a long time. And bass player was also in Steel Vengeance back in U.S. thrash power metal band. So this is their new album. It's fantastic. It will be in my top 5 of the year. I like it that much. So and again, this is a little bit self-serving. It's on my label, but the first album was on my label too. But it's not only on my label, it's only on our label in the United States. They actually got picked up by a label in Argentina, so their album's coming out there on a different label, and then so they're kind of on different labels in different countries. So
nice.
But yeah, it's
you almost got to do that nowadays to beat the curse of the postage rates, man. It's terrible.
Yeah. But this one is it's musically it's like the U.S. power metal style. It's pushing the border towards thrash metal, but it never really gets to thrash metal. It stays more on the the side of like Metal Church or a Heretic or Omen, yeah, that kind of thing, where they're playing a lot of speedy riffs, a lot of fast guitar solos, some double bass, but it doesn't dominate the whole record. And it's just kind of like I said, Metal Church, or like you said, Omen. And the vocals are very clean. It's got a bit of an accent because he's from Argentina. I dig him, but they're really huge in Argentina because Logos and V8 were so big in Argentina. So anyhow, this one will be in my top 5 for sure. I played this thing to death this year.
Right on. All right, Laz.
Oh, well, let's see. It wouldn't be me if I didn't show something Maiden. So this is Iron Maiden, Maiden Tokyo. And
I like that cover.
Yeah, this here is a live boot, limited to 300 copies. But what this is the Made in Japan EP, but this is the whole show instead of just the short EP. So it's nice to finally have the entire thing in one spot. Again, gatefold kind of video game looking is what I think of when I see that. It just reminds me.
I like that art though, man. It's really flat and graphic. I dig that.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of like a PlayStation image or something, but sounds absolutely incredible. Like I said, it's basically the Made in Japan EP, so it's that same sound quality. You would swear this was a factory recording, yeah. So awesome grab on this. So you got, let's see here, Rothschild, Purgatory, Sanctuary, Remember Tomorrow, Another Life, Genghis Khan, Killers, Innocent Exile, Twilight Zone, Strange World, love that song, Murders in the Rue Morgue, Phantom of the Opera, Iron Maiden, Running Free, Transylvania, and Drifter. So what a set list.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today we had a live stream for the new Panopticon record. They came in from the plant. This is the Rime of Memory. Can't really tell how impressive this package is. It's got UV spot printing on the front, on the back,
Nice.
on the gatefold as well. Comes with a, where the hell is it? Oh my God. Big booklet. These things turned out really, really good. And people have been waiting for them. Thanks. Yeah, Austin and his wife did all this stuff. And 2 vinyl variants.
Is that on your label?
Yeah, this is on Binary Recordings. Yep.
What's the name of the band again?
Panopticon.
Spell it.
PAN. OPTICON. Like the prison.
Right on.
We got like a snow-colored frosty vinyl variant, and there's like a white and black splatter butterfly-shaped variant as well. 2 LP set. This album is, I keep saying every time he puts out a record, well, this is his best record. This is his best record. But, well, he's done it again. Oh, polylined inners too. It's such an emotional, cinematic piece of U.S. I hate to call it just black metal. It's this guy that has that frosty post black metal style, but anybody that's a Panopticon fan knows what to expect. It's a very emotive, a lot of choir, a lot of multiple varying instruments, slide guitar, all sorts of stuff on here. It's just, don't re-sleeve on camera, dummy. Well, the LPs are in, and between this and the 2 Excellences records we're putting out, which arrived today, there's like 1,000 pre-orders. So people be patient. I'm busy getting them all going. So first wave went out on Wednesday, and we're going to keep plowing along. We'll get them all out to you. Thank you all.
Give us your give them your website.
shop.bindingrunerecordings.com. Yep. It's a fantastic record. It's on Spotify. It'll be on Spotify next week is the release date. So check it out. Yeah. That's that. And Scott.
Oh crap. I was all into the graphics on that record. I'm gonna probably I'm gonna buy it just for the graphics, man. That was really nice looking. I loved UV spot stuff like that. Okay, I don't know. This one I'm kind of on the fence about, but I have been listening to it recently. This is a new KK's Priest. I gotta have it. I'm a Priest fanatic, so I bought it. Had you bought it, Loss?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I like the first one better. KK needs to be careful with this band because he's 2 albums in and it's already starting to get very samey. So I hope he is careful with that. But so far so good. I mean, yeah.
It's I don't know. Maybe I need to give it a few more spins. It's just it doesn't have the same immediate hooks that Priest usually does. I do like Ripper's vocals, Tim Owens vocals, but I don't know. I got to give it a few more spins. So I've only heard it a couple times, and I like it, but it just hasn't blown me away. That's all. I don't want to sound like I don't like it. It's just new. It's very new. I've only played it like once or twice so far, so I need to give it a few more spins and see if it grows on me or not. Because right now it's just there.
Yeah, well, I don't know about you guys, but especially with something like that, you know, I mean, obviously I'm a huge Priest fan too, and so that's going to be a no-brainer. But you know, when it comes to a lot of this stuff, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I am discovering that I only have so much ear to spare. You know what I mean? And it's hard to, you know, I know this has been talked about many times in the past, where when we were kids, you know, and you had $15 for the week, and that could buy you 2 cassette tapes. You know, those 2 cassette tapes got played over and over and over and over, and they became part of you. You know, they were your soundtrack while you walked the street and went to the party and went to school.
With your
and
boombox.
Yeah. You know, and where now, I mean, as a metal fan, I mean, there's a new album every day. You know, and so when we, you know, purchase some of these things, I found it myself where I'm excited to get it. I'll play it once, and if I am not immediately hooked, you know, I may not revisit that for a while. You know, and the next thing I know, I forgot what that even sounded like. You know, because you only have so much time and so much ear to spare to digest these things.
You know what? It's interesting. We were having a conversation after the Panopticon live stream. A bunch of us involved in the album had a Zoom like meeting, hang out, drink some beer session, and we were talking about Dark Throne. And you know, I'm complaining on how Dark Throne has sucked for a long time now. Why do I keep buying their records? At some point, you have to come to a point where I don't need to hear this anymore, but the collector gene in us is always like, well, I've got all the other Dark Throne records. Why wouldn't I buy this piece of crap too? Which I do every time. I get the last 3 Dark Throne records I bought because I had to have them. I listen to them. I'm like, God, this sucks. I do not like this record, but I won't get rid of it. And I won't listen to it. I listened to it once. I listened to it previous to getting the records. I bought it just to have it. I mean, at one point, like KK's Priest, I mean, us old heads, just when do you cut the cord? When do you cut the cord on some of this shit? You know, and it is hard to do because we've had a lifetime of amassing shit. You know, we all do it. It's all great, or we like our shit. It's fun. The good serotonin kick when you get that package in the mail. But I don't know, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's kind of what we were talking about. So
yeah,
it's like, you know, speaking of, so let's stay with KK's Priest for a minute. You know, when it's like, okay, I need to hear some Priest, you know, do I pull Screaming for Vengeance that I know every single note, every single gruff at the end of Rob Halford's syllable of every single song like the back of my hand, because that's my favorite album that I love, and I just, you know, or am I going to pull KK's Priest? You know, and yeah, there are some days I may do that. Go, wow, I think I'm going to pull KK's Priest, you know, and that's why it's nice to have it. But does it mean as much to me as the other album? Not at all, you know. And I don't know. I think sometimes, especially with these big legacy bands like that, where the catalog is so deep and so long that, yeah, you once you bought in, it's like you were saying, Marty, you're going to buy it anyway. You know, they could, you know, shit in a bag and slap their label on it and put it in the bin, and you're going to buy it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just it's the big mystery. Why there's a lot of new albums that I do like a lot, that I would say I even maybe love, but none of them have that magic that the ones do from our youth. None of them.
Yeah, it's true.
Nostalgia is hard to beat. That's just the way it is.
Well, a lot of bands were better then too. Let's face it. bands when they're young and you have your whole life to write your first album. Maybe you've got 6 months to 8 months to a year to write your second album. There's going to be a change. There's going to be a difference. Sometimes some bands can see past that and achieve greatness, and moving forward they can. But we were talking earlier, not every band is going to hit 100% on everything, especially a band as old as Scorpions or Accept or Metallica. I mean, Metallica is a prime example of a band that you say we could sit here and say they lost their way, but did they? They're like one of the biggest bands on the planet. The album I hate, the Black Album, not a big fan of it. It still sells
selling records of all time.
It sells 9,000 copies a week still. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
And you and I were trying to sell 1,000 CDs and struggling.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell are we doing wrong here? But anyway, I don't know, getting off topic, I guess, but they got to cut with it's collectors, and it's like the new Maiden. Let's get into the new Maiden for a second. I think that is the most boring snooze fest crap they've ever put out. And I've seen nothing but praise all over the internet for it. If you like it, great. I'm not sitting here condemning people for liking something, but to be one of their highest charting records at this age of their career, they're never going to change unless people say this isn't good, or I don't like this, or I don't care about this as much as, they've lost the excitement. They're set in their ways. They've got a yes man for a producer. They're putting out 85-minute long snooze fest records that trim the fat, more dynamics. It's just, they're a long running band. I still love and respect Maiden, but their last few albums, there's some good stuff, but there's a lot of, I don't know where I'm going with this, other than these old style bands, they need to self-edit better. Self-editing. Anyway.
Or get a producer.
Or get a producer that like Martin Birch. He made Bruce do that Scream and Number of the Beast
30 times.
30 sometimes, and end up using the first one he did. But he's trying to get the best take out of the guy,
Well, just look at Judas Priest. I mean, Priest, their albums were okay, but then they get a decent producer, and their last studio album they put out was great.
It's great. It really is great.
The new one.
Up next? Who's up next, by the way?
I just went. No, wait. Did I? No,
I don't remember. That's what I'm asking. We got off topic. I forgot. I do have a related record I could show, but I don't know if it's my turn or not.
Go for it.
Okay. This is one that I've been spinning quite a bit. Just recently picked it up.
I need that one. Damn it,
New York. You do. This thing's amazing. It's so cool. They're playing an itty bitty little club in New York in 1979. It was like, thank you. My wife just came in, and it's like there's probably 100 people in the audience. You can just hear it, and it's amazing. It's a soundboard recording. Hellbent for Leather, Delivering the Goods, Runner Wild, Beyond the Realms of Death, Green Manalishi, Victim of Changes, Rock Forever, and Starbreaker. I mean, it's just a classic freestyle. I love. I mean, obviously, it's the cover.
Yeah.
Shot's been used a million times, but it's perfect shot for the album. This was. I don't think they were riding a bike in that little club they were playing.
Probably rode it to the club.
It's kind of weird hearing Priest play to such a small audience, though, and you could actually hear it in, like when Rob's doing his banter, talking to the crowd. It's definitely different from what you're used to hearing on the records. Yeah, this thing's fantastic.
Yeah, I gotta get that one.
So anyhow, I pulled that forward just because you guys were talking Priest and Maiden and stuff. So
I've got Priest to show too, but I'll wait till a bit later.
Oh.
All right, Laz. I think we skipped me on that one, but it's fine. I can circle back around. It's all good. I'll show two the next time around.
I am running low here.
Holy crap! I picked too much. I've been listening to too much stuff, I guess.
Well, okay. Since we're on a Priest kick, this one is sitting out, and I will talk about this one. This is New York After Midnight, and this sounds like a damn label-produced live record. This does not sound.
So is Unleashed in the East, isn't it? That's all done in the studio.
Yeah, but I mean the quality of the recording. This does not sound like your standard bootleg. This is not an audience recording. It's a FM broadcast, I think, but it sounds like it's. Yeah, this could double as a straight up, the other live Judas Priest record. I mean, it's just amazing. the recording on this. This is a gatefold. It's a red vinyl, but this was recorded. It's 81. Yeah, New York After Midnight, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15 plus tracks on here. It's on Fallen Angel is the label. This is not rare. It's out there. You can get it now. It's, eBay, Discogs, whatever. It's floating around out there. But definitely the quality of it is what sells it. Tons of Priest bootlegs, but this one sounds like a freaking label produced album. So definitely worth it if you're a Priest fan. It's obviously the Point of Entry tour. But killer album. Killer album.
All right, I'll hit a couple here. Jurgen sent me these CDs. I always want to check these guys out. In Camelot Music, I saw this one, Grinder's Dead End. Never picked it up for some reason. He sent me that, and he sent me the hell's the name of this? Dawn for the Living. Good German thrash.
Yep.
Really
like
solid. Well done. These are both Dive Bomb Records repressings. Dive Bomb does a great job on their repressings. The only thing is there's a ton of bonus tracks on here. I almost would have rather it just been the albums. All the bonus tracks make these things very, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 live bonus tracks. This one has, oh my God, almost more than they're on that many bonus tracks. it's a lot, but
yeah,
they're a good solid band. They sound very German, and I don't know what more to say other than that. Solid German thrash. Kind of bummed I missed them back in the day.
Very underrated band.
Underrated. Never really hear anybody talk about them, but thanks, Jurgen. Good stuff. Solid. Always curious what they sounded like. More German, Halloween related. Pink Cream 69 games people play it. This is the last album with Andy Darris on vocals. Kind of glammy side on this Pink Cream 69 stuff, but I like it. It's good. It sounds like you can hear Halloween in some of this stuff. You can hear Andy's songwriting on this stuff. Yeah, German again. Sorry, Dimitar. It's the way it goes around here. Yep, always dug it. Good fan of that, and I'll show this now. Firepower. Alan sent me this. I was going to buy this on vinyl when it came out, and every place I went to here in town, the vinyl was so stupidly priced. I'm like, God, I'll wait. Well, it finally came to me. Alan sent it to me, but I'm shocked how good this record is. It's really solid, well written. I guess you got to applaud Andy Sneap for kind of getting in there. And not only the production's sharp and modern, he said, you guys need to sound like Judas Priest. And they do. It sounds like Judas Priest. It's great. Good stuff.
Yeah, out of all of the albums of The Return of Rob, that's the one for sure.
Yep. And from what I heard, that one song off the new one, holy smokes, that's going to be a ripper for sure.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of throwback stuff. They've actually released 2 tracks now, and you hear it in both tracks that they've released. They are throwbacking to you hear some of the synth stuff from Turbo that they used on that album in there. I mean, there's just little flashbacks throughout of the different eras of Priest. It's just amazing.
All right, Scott, what you got?
Oh, up again. Jeez. Some death metal. This is Turbid North. This is their 3rd album. They have a 4th album that just came out, digital only.
What are they called? Turbid North?
Yeah, here's the
Turbid North.
Never heard of them.
From Texas. They are melodic's not the right word. They're a bit progressive, but they're definitely a death metal band. I guess when they started out, they were playing a lot of Pantera covers, and then they morphed into becoming more of a death metal band. And this was just last year, the year before. But yeah, these guys are great.
Huh.
Long songs. So like I said, a bit progressive, and I love progressive metal and rock. So, but it's got the brutal vocals. It's got the everything you expect from death metal, but there's also a lot of progressive tendencies in the songwriting. So, good stuff from Texas. I'm really hoping their new album comes out on. I just don't do digital downloads. I'm not paying for a digital download. So unless the album comes out in some physical format, I'm buying it.
I've done it a couple times and doing reviews for trying to get on the Nuclear Blast promo list, and I reviewed the new Twilight Force. I ended up having to buy the record so I could pull clips of it for the damn review. I was so pissed, but yeah, I don't know. I used to, when I worked in a commercial shop, I had my iPod with me. I listened to it 8 to 15 hours a day. But now my shop in my garage, I have, tape deck, CD player. I don't need to do it. So I don't spin digital. So I don't know.
Same here. I work in my office and I play vinyl and CDs all day long. Tapes.
Absolutely. That's the way it should be. All right, Dwayne.
Let's see. This is on my desk. This is an album that I've just recently. It's finally, after all these years, really finally starting to click. And you guys may laugh, but I can never get into this record, and it's finally starting to hit. And it's Act 3 by Death Angel.
I saw him on that
I
tour.
love that album, man.
It's really starting to click with me.
I like it. I don't like the funk stuff, but I like all the other. They were great live too. I saw them with Forbidden and Realm.
Well, that was it. When this dropped, this was so, even for Death Angel, I mean, this was the third record, and it was so different for them that I immediately just did not like it.
It has a ballad on it, man.
And it's all these years later, I finally kind of pulled it, and it's like, I forced myself to get through it a few times, and then playing in the background while I'm working, like you guys were just talking, things like that, to now all of a sudden I'm like, wow, God, this is a freaking great record, man. So yeah, Act 3, Death Angel.
I love that album. I didn't really like the direction they took after it when they changed their name, but I do like that album. I can't remember. Was it The Business? No.
The Organization.
The Organization.
Was the name of
that's it.
Yep.
Yeah. They put 2 albums out. I have them both. I can't remember the last time I even touched them.
Well, I'm going to go through a little run here of non-metal stuff. I've been listening. I like industrial music, and I go in waves with them. I'm obviously I'm wearing a Skinny Puppy t-shirt. I dig that. I like the big acts in the genre, but it's getting into, I'm slow to get into some of the smaller bands, but I've been listening to this a bit, the Mentalo and the Fixer, Where Angels Fear to Tread. Really good, solid, well layered, dark industrial music. It's borderline dance music, but with a darker slant. Distorted electronic vocals. It's like electronic metal to me. I don't know. There's like a metal even though there's no guitars on this stuff, it's very much, it has an intensity and aggression to it that reminds me of metal. But I just love the purity of like organic synth tones, and the way that they're fashioned and layered and hard driving on this stuff. Another band, Southern California band, I believe, Youth Code. These guys came out in 2014-ish somewhere, but these are only 2 albums I picked up by them. Earlier record, it's pretty good, kind of minimal industrial. This one is exceptional. This one is called, what is this called? An Overture. This Youth Code album is called Commitment to Complications. It's way more layered, a lot more like Skinny Puppy, Lady Screamer. She has almost a crusty hardcore vibe to her vocals. The music is just hard-hitting, electronic. It's great. I really enjoy the hell out of it. This here, obviously, there's a metal connection here. Godflesh, their latest 2-ish. One of the 2 is there's another EP, a Nero EP I'm missing, but this is Decline and Fall, really good 4-song EP. And their latest full-length Purge. I go in fits with this band. I never listened to them for a long period of time, and then when I put them on and it clicks, I can't stop listening to them. It's weird. It just depends on my mood. They're very repetitive. For those of you that aren't familiar, I prefer the drum machine era of this band. They've had real drummers in the past. Ted Parsons from Prong was in the band for a while. But I prefer the electronics, simple, plodding, repetitious beat and the repetitious riffs. I don't know. There's just an awesome. These guys are always struck me as very unique, very good. I really enjoy Purge. Good album. Who's next? Scott.
Oh, damn. Goes so fast, man. All right, I still got a few left here. This is one I just picked up recently.
I gotta pee again. I'll be right back.
Yeah, this is one I just picked up recently. This is Injustice for Jason.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
the
think I've
Injustice for All.
done it a few times with different covers.
Yeah, it's basically Injustice for All. I assume it's just remastered, not remixed, and they try and bring the bass up a bit. Not only the bass guitar, but the overall bottom end of the album. It's kind of cool. Listen, what I really liked about it was the D side. It has Jason and the producer from the album talking about what happened and why the bass was taken out, and so you get kind of the real story of what was going on with that and why it was gone. Apparently it was mostly Lars Ulrich kept coming into. They were touring at the time while this was getting mixed, and they kept flying back to the studio. And every time he came in, he was telling him, "Turn the bass down, turn the bass guitar down." And he was like, "Really?" And then the producer said, "What's the producer's name? Can't remember his name." And yeah, whatever his guy's name is, he says. And then like I talked to Lars 20 years later, and he goes, why was there no bass in that album?" He's like, "Are you kidding me?" But anyhow, he tells the whole story about how he's like, "Really?" And he also talks about the drum sound. And Lars, he had this drum sound that was apparently very heavy and brutal. And Lars came and said, "No, that's not my sound. I don't like it." So that's why you got the drum sound you did on that album. In any case, I'm not a. I used to be a huge Metallica fan in in the early '80s when Kill 'Em All came out, because they were a new band, and I'm not as big a fan as I used to be. I'm not really a whole lot into the newer stuff they put out, but I was just curious, and it was not unreasonably priced, so I grabbed it and gave it a listen. Yeah, it's kind of a cool listen to hear the album with bass in it.
Yeah.
There's also some little parts in there of them in the studio working out Bread Fan and the Prince on this thing too. So
nice.
Yeah, kind of a cool release.
Neat.
Injustice for All with bass, basically.
Crazy. Is it actually Jason's bass stuff, or they just mixed it up, or what?
As far as I can tell, it's just remastered, and someone was able to get. I mean, it's amazing what you can do with digital, mastering technology today, and it just somehow brought the bass up so you can actually hear it. And like I was telling him, even the bottom end the whole bottom end is up a little more.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
All right, Laz.
So this might be controversial, but we all have those bands, right, where your favorite LP or your favorite album by the band is like a lot of people's least favorite.
Yep.
Well, or maybe not least favorite, but this is one that doesn't get. This is my favorite album by this band, and it's not everybody else's favorite, which is fine. But Queensryche Empire, I love
Jet City Woman. How can you go wrong with that song? What a song!
Yeah, Jet City Woman, but the whole album, and this is one of those albums where I listen to the whole album. I don't pick tracks off here or anything. I put it on and I let it go all the way through. I love this album. I know the EP classic, right? Different band. It's a different sound. Warning, different sound. It's kind of one of the cool things about this band that they did kind of change from album to album. But this album, not just the songwriting on this, the playing on this, Silent Lucidity to me is a blatant Pink Floyd ripoff.
Yeah, God, they played the shit out of that on radio. Northern Michigan Rock Radio, they played the shit out of that song every time.
They still play that song. I hear it at the gym all the time.
Too much.
And even still, though, it is an incredible song for what it is. But there's a lot of sentimental feelings with me with this record. And I was touring. I used to be a pro-am billiard player. And this album was all that era of my life for like 2 years straight. This album lived and breathed in my vehicle. So I love it dearly. But to a lot of people, Empire's not looked upon as like one of their best albums. So, but I love Empire. Classic record. If I were to ever meet Queensryche or Jeff Tate in person with the opportunity to have them sign something, this is what I would take. and I've got pretty much everything by the band, but this is what I would take.
Yeah, it's plenty of room on the cover for them to put signatures and not ruin the cover art.
Yeah. Yeah, not the greatest cover art, that's for sure.
All right. Me. Okay. Oops. Yeah. You go through looking at your collection like, oh, I haven't listened to that in ages. Well, this is one of them. King Diamond and Concert 87 Abigail. I started spinning this around Halloween time, and it holds up. It's a good, solid, well-produced live set. It says on here, this album is live in the true sense of the word. I'm assuming I have to take it for face value. Most live albums aren't live, but this one apparently is. 1991, and it's the Fatal Portrait's my favorite King Diamond album.
Amen.
And it's got, the candle. It even has No Presents for Christmas. They close the set on that. The portrait. It's got some Fade on here. Third song, Come to the Sabbath. But it also has Abigail tracks on here too. So first two albums are well represented here. It's a good live show. Did Metal Blade reissue this too in their reissue? Yep. They did?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. Worth having. I got it for $3.88 used somewhere. Well spent, I think. Money well spent. All right, Scott.
Oh, another new release from this year. This is a new UDO.
Yeah, I've been hearing about
it. God, the album cover is so stupid. I'm sorry, it's stupid.
Well, the whole thing is, look, it's all
stupid. They're all yeah. That's not even a thing in Europe. That's not. They have soccer for football anyway.
Yeah, football is really United States and Canada, but anyhow, I wasn't the last couple albums, especially the symphonic one. Seriously, when I want to hear Udo, I don't want to hear symphonies. You're there to hear just balls to the wall metal, and
literally.
This is what this is a return to. It's just driving heavy metal. It's nice. Really well done. It's really well recorded. I'm digging it a lot. His last two albums didn't even make my list at all for the year, but this one will probably make it. So I enjoy it. And you can get it in black vinyl. I know. Nice. It's amazing. Nobody does black vinyl anymore. I'm always looking for the black vinyl versions. But yeah, I bought the black vinyl version. It's weird how it used to be nothing but black. Now you can't even find black vinyl.
And I still, I get the whole color fad thing, but man, I still like a good black record. It's the way it's supposed to be, Color vinyl is cool. I get the appeal, but
Well, let me ask you a question. You've been putting out records for a long time too. Do you notice that the colored vinyl just has more pops and noise, and especially when you get into the lighter colors or the clears, there's just more noise?
It can be, and I bought a Dream Evil record that had some weird splatter thing going on, and it popped, and I skipped all through the front because of the vinyl, the splatter poking through the grooves.
Yeah.
The stuff we've put out has been sounding good. We use GZ, and some people complain about them, but we've never had any problems. And yeah, but black is the best. It sounds the best. It's clean. There's less surface noise.
It's also the most tested color.
Yep.
And the carbon is what's in the vinyl, the black, that makes it, from what I understand, from what I've been told, the carbon is what makes it ride smoother on the grooves.
Right on.
Yeah. You take the carbon out to get the other colors. So,
and also
vinyl's like clear, like a yellowish clear color by itself.
Yeah. I've also been told by the plant themselves that this 180 gram vinyl does not sound different. They say it's an aesthetic. They say it does not affect the sound. So to all the people that think, oh, I bought the 180 gram vocal because it's 180 gram vinyl because it sounds better, that's not true. It's not true. It's an aesthetic.
Yeah.
One thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I've never looked at 180 gram as a sound relation. No. I've looked at it as just a weight thing.
There you go.
If it's
flat, less warp, there's less warp.
Yeah, if it's flat, it's less warp. If it's warped, you're fucked. So
yeah. That's just the way it was meant to be. If it's warped,
yeah.
But I was going to say the same thing you just said. So
Yeah, I don't see it as something that relates to the sound quality, because your metal work, when it presses the vinyl, whether there's 180 grams of vinyl in between the metal work or 100 grams, I don't think makes a difference. It's only going to press so deep, right? So yeah, I think the big sound quality comes into a 45 RPM cut versus a 33 RPM cut, because you got that distance where you can really increase your sibilance and everything else to really bring that out. But
well, believe it or not, there are people out there that think the 180 gram vinyl supposedly sounds better. It doesn't. It's just, it's better aesthetic for warping. And if whoever you buy it from sends the record in the jacket, it's probably going to rip through the jacket. You're probably going to have seam splits because the shit's so heavy. A little bit of shifting, depending on how far it comes. Yeah.
Cardboard ain't stopping it.
Nope, it ain't stopping it. It's gonna, if it gets, I've seen these angry postal people. Sometimes they don't give a shit.
Man, I have the best post office lady ever. She's this beautiful little no, I keep wanting to say Japan. I'm tired. It's late. Anyhow, she's this beautiful little Oriental lady, and she knows that I'm a record collector. I'm the only person in the entire town that she gets, and she comes to my door and rings my doorbell and puts them on the door, because she's like, I don't leave your records out in those hot boxes. So I tip her well every Christmas, because she's
awesome.
Yeah,
that's why she does it. Yeah, you take care of her. Absolutely. Whose turn is it? Who just went? All right. Well, Scott's in the position, so he must win. I think it's Laz's turn. Yep.
I don't know if I have anything left. Let me see here.
Oh, I did the Udo. That was that the last one we did?
That was Udo. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I only have 2 left. So
I got 2 left.
Okay, why don't you guys go ahead, because I think that's already been talked about. Yeah, unless I just start pulling shit out of the shelves. So yeah, go ahead, you guys.
There you go, Scott.
Here's an old one. This is new wave of British heavy metal band. This was kind of after the big wave. This is what, 84, 85, somewhere in that area. This was it's Witch Find. It's not as, I never thought the Witch Find was as dark as they sound or look, but it's just great old school British heavy metal. This particular album is a little bit proggy, but it's not like where Demon went, where they almost sort of sound like Genesis. This is it's more straightforward metal, but they went a little more progressive, a little more technical. But it's a double album too, so it's pretty long. But yeah, I dig their first 3 albums a lot. So I never really listened to much after that from them, but they were just your kind of dark heavy metal, straightforward heavy metal from UK from the 80s. Huh. You guys know these? You guys know these?
I don't know that I've heard Witch Find. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
They got what's really, there's early singles are fantastic too, if you can find but all these new wave of British heavy metal singles are ridiculously priced now.
You got anything, Dwayne?
Let's see. I got a couple of. Oh god.
Well, I can go while you're digging.
I got these 2 Witch Finds.
There you
go. Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, there's the second album. I don't have that one.
Yes,
that
Stage Fright.
Must be a later one. Maybe is it live?
No, Stage Fright is. Let's see the year on it.
All of us need Hubble telescope lenses to see this shit, and lights.
Yeah,
I don't see the year on it, but yeah, no, Stage Fright I think is even after Cloak and Dagger. I could be wrong.
Excuse me. I'm gonna find out while you're looking.
I was gonna say, yeah, you can look it up.
Yep, I'm on Discogs now.
Okay.
Oh, Stage Fright is their first album. I didn't get that. It was apparently was from what I can tell, it is their first album, because I have Give 'Em Hell and Cloak and Dagger and Lords of Sin. Stage Fright came out in 1980.
Yep. The professor is in the chat. He says Stage Fright is second from 80. Cloak and Dagger is third.
Okay.
What's up, Alan? Hope you're doing well, man.
Hey, Alan.
It was Metal Theologian who got me into Witch Find. He he showed them on one of his things and was talking about how the difference between the imagery and what the music actually sounds like. And so I started checking them out and been into it ever since.
I thought I had a live. My version. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the live one. This will get you banned here.
Nah,
Royal
we'll be
William
fine.
Live Sacrifice.
It's past the 2-minute mark. We're fine.
Okay. Oh, that's a 2011 release. I have to get that too. That's because it's recorded back in the 80s. Nice. See, you learn something new every day.
There you do.
All right.
All right. Well, this is one that's been sitting on the shelf for a long time. I was kind of following this band because I'm collector scum, and then I kind of fell off the train. But their debut album from this is a Belgian band, Enthroned, Prophecies of Pagan Fire. This is a blackened release. 2 CD version of this. It's got the Prophecies of Pagan Fire. Disc 2 has got live and demo material on it. It's Marduk-ish type of black metal with a little more, I'll say, rustic sound. We'll say rustic. Not maybe as exact or well produced as Marduk, but you can hear everything here. And it's good, unrelenting, fast, nasty black metal. Yep, I like their first couple records. After that, I know there was some lineup changes, and I lost track. I think I have 4 albums by them, but this is my favorite, Prophecies of Pagan Fire. Good stuff. Good record. Scott.
Last one. I promise. UFO's been releasing a lot of their all these old live albums from back in the day.
Yeah.
This one just came out. There's a ton of them coming out and they're all official from UFO. This one's Hollywood 76. So Shankar era. I can't tell where it was recorded at. It almost sounds like a club. 76, they may not have been big enough to be in a stadium. I don't know, but the sound quality on here is pretty good, and I quite enjoyed this release. Again, crazy colored vinyl, but they do have black vinyl. But
you didn't get that one.
Did not. But here's another one. This it's not even popped yet, but I got them at the same time. This is live at the Oxford Apollo, 1985.
Wow.
Haven't even popped it open yet, but yeah, there's a ton of them with these. They're all different covers. Some of them a lot of them are like this with these kind of futuristic UFO covers.
What's the label?
Cleopatra.
Okay.
Yeah, Cleopatra.
Wow, Cleopatra was kind of an electronic label, weren't they?
They were, but they're doing a lot of reissues and live albums these days.
Yeah.
That's it for me. That's pretty much.
Actually, another thing I learned from your channel over the years, Scott, is the opening up the a record in shrink wrap using your jeans. Back and forth on your jeans.
Yeah, the G trick,
yeah. I never knew that before until I watched that. I'm like, I do it now every time. It works with
too.
Other stuff too.
It works with sweatpants too, actually.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Anything, Les?
Nope, that was it for me.
All right. I'll just run through my last 2 here. Sai Shiki. You know what? This band is super interesting. I like them, but I never really think to listen to them. For anybody that don't know Sai, they're a Japanese black metal band. They've been around forever. They were going to be one of the first bands put out on Euronymous' Death Like Silence Productions. But as the years went on, these guys got really proggy, a lot of synth stuff. They're just super unique, well produced. It isn't what you would consider traditional black metal. There's a lot of weird stuff here. The fact that elements of their culture and surroundings definitely makes this band something different, which is very cool. Some of the more proggy electronic stuff, the keyboards and thing, doesn't sit with me. I'm not a huge prog fan. I just am not. I appreciate it, but I don't care to listen to it much. There's some elements of this here, but it's just a well done black metal record with some neat synth and other instrument flourishes throughout it. Came out this year. Good solid record. And lastly, I will end on
cover, by the way.
It's cool. Yeah. Like I said,
I like
Japanese. So
I love that artist. Yeah, it's awesome.
We're going to end with this. We had a big discussion about this Wednesday night during the Heavy Metallurgy Album Club. We talked about Another Perfect Day by Motorhead,
Yes,
which
love that album.
this is my favorite Motorhead record, and that's why I picked it for the discussion. And man, people don't get it, or they don't care, or they don't like it. And I'm glad it was a one and done for them. I can't imagine more of this, but Brian Robertson brought a lot to Motorhead. And it's just
Yeah,
amazing
man.
that you can hear Motorhead and Thin Lizzy sitting alongside each other and somehow working well together. It's really cool. And I talked at length about it for an hour, but after the stream, I even listened to this. I love this record. When I listen to Motorhead, this is typically my go-to. I love the Fast Eddie and the Filthy Taylor. I mean, Filthy's on this too, but I love that era. We all do, but it's so overplayed. We've all heard it so much. This is riff, 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 great layering, a little bit of prog here and there, but not the prog that bugs me. It's the good prog. It's just, I love that Rickenbacker distorted bass tone. Great
Ricky
songs.
Bastard.
Yeah, I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Such a great record.
That's what he called his bass, the Ricken Bastard.
It's the Ricken Bastards had a very distinct tone. They just do.
Marty, have you heard this band? This is a single that just happened to have behind me.
That was Robo's band. Also, he was in Thin Lizzy and Wild Horses, right?
He was in Thin Lizzy. He left Thin Lizzy, went to Wild Horses with this is the dude, this Jimmy Bain from Rainbow.
Oh, right on.
They were flatmates back then. So yeah, they put 2 albums out and a bunch of singles. I mean, it's not as heavy as that Motorhead record, but it's just good, straightforward, UK hard rock, like Whitesnake was back then, kind of like that,
Yeah,
before they became a pop metal band.
I just love that Motorhead record. It's just he added Robertson added a lot of class to Motorhead, and it's a very uplifting quality to some of those riffs, and I love the juxtaposition between the filth of Motorhead and those uplifting riffs, and then some of the songs force Lemmy to sing in key, which he can actually sing, But yeah. Is anybody have anything else?
Thanks, Don.
Oh, I just want to say
that's it
for everybody showing up tonight on Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving, and hope everybody had a great holiday and on to Christmas we roll. I can't believe it's going to be there so soon. It seems like, the years are just going by so fast.
Yep. You get to a certain age, it's like you're in a shopping cart on fire going down a hill. It's how it goes. But Dwayne, you have anything coming up on your channel you want to talk about or give everybody a heads up on?
Just that, I mean, obviously, I'll apologize to people because like I said, I've been so late. Well, I don't want to say lazy because it hasn't been laziness. It's just been availability is what has kept me from video production this year, especially has been just tough. Company changes for work, you name it, man, medical stuff. It's just been one thing after another. So it's been really, really hard to get them out, but I've really been working towards, I need to get this Blue Oyster Cult collection video done while I'm still interested in doing it. So it's a big collection and I really want to get it done.
Yeah, our little stream on that with S. Craig Zoller went for 6+ hours.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long one. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just one that I really want to get it on video. So that is probably going to be the next thing. In fact, I was thinking my birthday is December 5th, and I thought that's just around the corner. Maybe I'll do that for myself for my birthday. Is do a big long. I don't know. What I can't decide is I know it's going to be big enough that it would be a really long single video or to break it up in parts. I just don't know. I don't know.
All right, on Scott. How about you? Same question. What's coming up on your channel?
Oh, I got several what's spinning videos coming up, just kind of like we just did now. I got new releases and reviews and the metal roundtable channels. We have 0 guests lined up right now, which I'm not saying that is a bad thing. It's a good thing. I always like the shows where we just sit around like we're talking tonight and just
BSing.
bunch
Yep.
of bunch of old metalheads BSing, and that's kind of what's going on at the Metal Roundtable too. But when you have a guest, from a band, you kind of have to focus on that one person and that one topic. So
Yeah.
I like it, but right now it's just going to be the three of us, talking about music. So,
And
but I do want to plug
the show for a while, right, or something.
Metal Rob's off right now. He'll be back. He's off for a couple months. Yeah. But I also wanted to say that while we were on air talking, my wife brought this into me. It came in the mail today.
Nice.
So the little No Life to Metal sampler Volume 3 is out. So if you buy anything off our website, I think this thing's $1. So, but yeah, it's got tons of Avengers of Blood, Angel. I'm tired. Anger is Art, Primal, Reptilian, Madrost. So there's Vindicator. There's lots of good stuff on here. So NoLifeToMetalRecords.com.
Links in the description for Scott Waters' YouTube channel. Links in the description for Metal Roundtable. Links in the description for No Life Till Metal. His review list, I posted the page with the review list, and there's links to the label and all that other stuff on there too. And then again, if you need any design work, Scott's your man. He does a fantastic job. If you're trying to reissue something that's got pixelated, sketchy shit, he can bring that back to life for you. I'm sure it's not his favorite thing in the world to do, but he can get it done.
One thing I do.
Bring this up real quick. If anybody in the chat went to Record Store Day today, because I did not. I had no interest in going to Record Store Day. First time in a long time. But I noticed just on pictures and videos I've seen, the Motley Crue, there's a Motley Crue EP. Okay.
Yep.
And man, it looks pixelated beyond reason. So I'm dying but I haven't seen one in person to find out. So since you brought that up, I'm curious if anyone has seen that thing yet, and is it really pixelated, or am I just seeing things? Because I can't see, why would they release stuff like that now, Scott, when we have more than the availability to not let that happen?
Yeah.
Especially
I see stuff like that coming out of the major labels, though. So I'm brain farting because I'm really tired. But what's Sammy Hagar's first band called?
Montrose.
Yeah.
Monster. Okay, so the first Montrose album, they just did a beautiful double album reissue on vinyl for that one, and I've had my old original copy forever, so I bought the new one. It's amazing how poor they did on the cover art. It's got that pixelation, like you said. So one of the things I do that people hire me to do is for old albums like that, all you have is an old beat up record. I scan it. I do something called descreening, which most people don't do, which causes that pixelation. You have to descreen before you. If you don't descreen it, you're going to basically get a bunch of printing dots. You scan those dots, and then you got more printing dots on top of it.
Yeah.
So now they get these weird swirls and pixelation because you don't descreen your art. And that, I know that's kind of silly technical crap, but it drives me up a friggin' wall when they release that kind of crap.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it. And so Kyle here says yes, that it is the Motley Crue is pixelated. Major label, big band. You would think, you would just think.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Well, it was awesome. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me tonight and filling in for Alan. We had a great time. It was awesome as always. And for folks in the chat, you'll be seeing these guys around again for sure. I'm sure of this. Go check out their channels and don't hang up, guys. We'll talk for a second afterwards. Thank you, everybody. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving, and be thankful for each other and for metal. Cheers, everyone. We'll see ya.
Cheers.